What's up, everybody? Welcome to Filling in the Gaps. How's it going, you guys? Good evening and welcome to Filling in the Gaps. I'm FloJo, and today we're just gonna kind of review. I wanted to hop on here. It's a little late, I know, over here on the West Coast here in California, but I just wanted to hop on here really quick and just kind of talk about the last 24 hours. 24 hours have been crazy, especially in Stockton, California, which is northern California. And apparently, I want to say this was last night. Don't really know too much about it, but I just kind of wanted to hop on this and watch a few of the news clips and kind of understand, the whole severity of this situation. Apparently, there was a mass shooting last night that took place in Stockton, California. And yeah, so I just kind of want to jump into it, man. It's kind of horrible. I heard that like 19 people were shot, 3 people are dead, including children. So just kind of want to jump into it and then review, talk about it. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, though. Shout out to all the people that are here in the chat right now. Shout out to my mod Jad, Preacher, what's going on? How you doing? Dubs, welcome. So yeah, let's jump right into it, man, because it's crazy because I heard this happened at a kid's party or I don't even know, at an ice cream shop. And if that's the case, man, that is crazy. But yeah, let's kind of jump into it and let's see what's going on.
And thank you for joining us here on ABC 10. I'm Austin Castro. Let's get straight to that breaking news as the search continues in Stockton for the suspect in a...
And then really quick after everything, we'll kind of jump into a few D4vd updates that came out. So we'll review that and we'll talk about it.
A deadly mass shooting at what's being described as a children's birthday party in a banquet hall. This all happened just after 6 yesterday evening on Lucille Avenue near Thornton Road. Investigators calling it a targeted attack. The family event, a party ending with gunfire on Thanksgiving weekend. This right here is video from the scene last night. Investigators say a suspect is still on the run. This is what San Joaquin District Attorney Ron Freitas had to say.
It's our understanding at this time that the individual responsible is still outstanding. If you have any information as to this individual, reach out immediately. And if you are this individual, turn yourself in immediately.
Now take a look at your screen. Investigators want you to have this number. If you have any information about what happened last night and a possible suspect, you are asked to call Stockton Crime Stoppers. That number right there on your screen, 209-946-0600. Again, 209.
So just in case you guys are just barely tuning in, a mass shooting took place last night in Stockton at a kid's party at an ice cream shop here in Northern California. So we're just kind of watching some of the news clips to kind of better understand what's going on. This is I heard that it happened last night, but wasn't able to kind of go into it or just kind of read or watch anything about it. So I'm watching it here with you guys.
946-0600. You can also leave a tip anonymously. We go now to ABC 10's Roxanne Elias with more details on that deadly shooting.
This is Thanksgiving weekend. This is when families come together, celebrate, share memories, give each other love. And unfortunately tonight, heaven is a little bigger with the individuals, children and adults that unfortunately do not make it.
In an emotional statement, Stockton Mayor Christina Fugazi offered her support to her community following a shooting at a banquet hall near Lucille Avenue Saturday night. San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Heather Brent sharing that 14 people were shot, 4 of them killed, including children.
It is
So 4 people dead, including
that
children.
There are young children who are harmed, that there was anybody who was harmed in this, and our hearts go out to those victims, to their families, and to our community.
Yo.
Do you have any further questions at this time?
Multiple agencies and city leaders are vowing to seek justice for the victims who were shot at a family gathering. District Attorney Ron Freitas calling the tragedy unthinkable and pleading with his community and asking the person responsible to turn themselves in.
So
When this
suspect is still
individual
at
is
large,
caught,
huh?
You have my promise that you will have the full force of my office's resources in holding this individual fully accountable.
Mayor Fugazi also calling on her city to do better and speak up if they know anything.
Whoever did this, if you know them, as the district attorney just said, please call Crime Stoppers. You can leave an anonymous tip. We've got work to do, and this type of violence, again, our city is better than that.
And as we all know now, it was a heartbreaking situation. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras was there just minutes after it all unfolded and has more information and reaction from locals.
Does anybody know if this was gang related or gang motivated? Anybody out there
Well, it
watching?
was a very frantic and fluid scene in the minutes after the tragedy unfolded. It was here at this parking lot, this strip mall, where we're told some of the crowd's first.
Jad said a 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, 14-year-old, and 21-year-old shot and killed last night at a party. Wow. What is this world coming to? So, I mean, it's a kid's party. Do we know? You guys are probably more caught up with this story than I am. What was the motivation behind it? And then, do we know if the killer has been caught?
Ran to try to get cover. There was so much adrenaline in the air, but the heartbreak was palpable in those first few minutes. We were on scene less than an hour after the tragedy unfolded, which means we saw those groups of first responders, dozens of police cars, fire engines, and ambulances, and most heartbreakingly, families and mothers sobbing, asking where their kids are. People who live near Thornton Road and Lucille Avenue say it all happened so fast.
That was a lot of gunfire. That was a lot of gunfire.
At least 3 bursts of gunfire, Jason Amoson said, and after a fleet of first responders.
There was probably 10 to 12 ambulances, every fire truck, every police officer.
At first, he didn't know what had happened, but he saw, as we saw, on the cold concrete and under the dark sky, families breaking down into tears.
Afterwards, there was a lot of people that walked out, a lot, yelling for their kids and stuff like that.
Is really what's sticking with me and with so many here tonight. Those parents who just wanted to know where their kids were. Tragic to know that so many of them will never see their loved ones again. As many of you know, I was born and raised here in San Joaquin County. I've been to this strip mall several times, just a couple weeks ago actually, for lunch. I have friends who live in this neighborhood. They are all stunned. To say that this is heartbreaking is really an understatement. The grief and the shock is palpable in Stockton, and the city is shaken. In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Assemblymember Rosita Ransom, who represents Stockton, released a statement saying, quote, "I'm heartbroken by the violence and tragedy in Stockton and the senseless loss of life that has resulted from this. My heart is with the families experiencing unimaginable pain and with those who have been injured. These events are deeply traumatizing for our community." Meanwhile, the governor's office also releasing a statement on social media saying, quote, Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the horrific shooting in Stockton. The governor's office of emergency services is monitoring this evolving situation and coordinating with local law enforcement. Stockton Mayor Christina Fugazi confirmed she spoke with Governor Newsom, saying he has offered the full support of the state of California to assist the community and law enforcement agencies in any way needed. Stockton's Vice Mayor Jason Lee also speaking out shortly after the shooting, his statement saying, quote, "To the families impacted, to the loved ones grieving, and to every child and parent shaken by this tragedy, my thoughts, my prayers, and my heart are with you tonight. Stockton is my home and your pain is my pain." The Stockton Unified School District.
Man, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. An 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 21-year-old shot, killed at a birthday party. What, like, this has to be gang related, right? I mean, I don't know how Stockton is as as a city. That's like NorCal up there. So I don't know if Stockton has a lot of gangs, or yeah, I'm not quite sure how Stockton is. But I do know, Stockton does have a good amount of, I mean, there's African American population. There's probably, I know there's Filipinos out there. So there's a big Asian population out there. But wow.
Released a statement as well.
Another video. This is supposed to be just a quick update from, I don't know if she's a district attorney or not. Let's see. Let's go listen to this.
Public Information Officer with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. My name is Heather Brent.
Hold on.
All right, so I'm Public Information.
Heather Brent from the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Oh, San Joaquin.
Officer with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. My name is Heather Brent. Limited information that I can provide at this time. I'm going to refer to my notes though. Shortly before 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, our dispatch received reports of possible gunshots near the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. What we have confirmed at this time is that there was a banquet hall where a family was celebrating. We have 14 victims of this shooting. 4 of those are deceased. The victims have been transported to local hospitals throughout the area. This is a very active and ongoing investigation. Information remains very limited at this time. Early indications suggest that this may be a targeted incident. Investigators are exploring all possibilities at this time.
Targeted incident?
Detectives are working
on children
diligently to determine the circumstances leading up to this incident. We are urging anyone with information, whether it's videotape, surveillance, maybe you're in the area and you saw something, to please contact the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Our #1 priority right now is identifying the suspect in this incident. We're very grateful for our local law enforcement agencies. We have called out several agencies to come in and assist, including Manteca Police Department, Stockton PD. We've got the District Attorney's Office. We have the FBI. Again, our #1 priority is ensuring that we find that suspect and hold them accountable.
Oh wow, the FBI is on this case? Is it because it's a mass shooting?
Ages range from juvenile to adult. I don't have specific ages that I can release at this time.
Do you know if multiple people fired guns or if it was just one person?
That's under investigation at this time.
Were the victims inside or outside of the venue?
To my understanding, and again, I'll correct this if needed, but to my understanding that the victims were inside of the banquet hall.
What is the name of the banquet hall?
I'll have to provide that at a later time.
Wow.
What was happening at the banquet hall? What type of event this was?
To my understanding, it was a family gathering.
The mayor said it was something to do with the child's birthday celebration.
That's information that's coming in at this time. I do not have that to confirm.
Where's the suspect?
We're working to locate the suspect at this time.
Is there any reason to believe that it's more than one person?
That's information that we'll have to confirm at a later time.
Were any firearms recovered at the scene?
I don't have that information for you at this time.
Do you have information on the description of the vehicle? The investigation on the quantum?
We will not be releasing that information at this time. Everything is under investigation.
Are you able to share which direction the banquet
Thanksgiving weekend, that is wild, yo.
So behind us, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a Dairy Queen. Inside that parking area, there is a banquet hall.
Okay, so it happened at a banquet hall.
It's
okay,
further
not at
down.
an ice cream parlor.
City or county?
County. The Sheriff's Office is handling this investigation at this time.
Wait, who? Who did she say
This
was?
investigation.
The Sheriff's Office?
County. The Sheriff's Office is handling this investigation at this time.
Was the shooter outside when the shots were fired?
Specific information is all under investigation at this time.
Man, that's horrible.
We will be providing an update when we can.
I have to imagine I'd love to be able to stick on this. Investigations like this involving children cannot be easy for any of the deputies or officers.
It is unfathomable that there are young children who are harmed, that there's anybody who is harmed in this,
100%.
and our hearts go out to those victims, to their families, and to our community.
Alright, that was one video. And I think there's an update that came out earlier this afternoon. It was about 6 hours ago. And I'm assuming this is from the sheriff's office. Let's go ahead and listen to what they have to say.
Give you the opportunity to ask any questions you might have also. So as you know, approximately 21 hours ago, a little before 6 o'clock, we had a mass shooting at a child's birthday party here in Stockton, in the county region of Stockton. Our units responded and found approximately 15 victims of gunshot wounds at this party, and unfortunately 4 of those 15 are deceased now. As we put out, the ages are from 8, 9, 14, and 21 in this horrific shooting that occurred. We have been actively investigating this, obviously, from the moment it happened. We've had our team on the scene processing it for the past 21 hours, and while that was going on, we were actively following up all the leads that we have, looking for witness statements, asking anyone to give us any video that they might have of this incident, and following every lead that we have at this time. I am confident in our team and with the work that we have done so far, that we will find these animals that did this and bring them to justice. But we still need the public's help on this. We need everyone who has any information on this to reach out to us. This is the time for our community to show that we will not put up with this type of behavior where people will just walk in and kill children. We all know that there are people out there that are violent and commit violent crimes, but these animals walked in and shot children at a children's birthday party. And none of us should stand for that. And so if you know anything about this, you have to come forward and tell us what you know. If not, you just become complacent and think this is acceptable behavior. Any little bit that you can get us will help us. And so we are diligently following up everything that we have so far. So please continue to give us more information, and we will follow every single lead and be very detail oriented so that the moment that we have these subjects in custody, we will be able to hold them accountable, and our DA will be able to charge them and make sure that they will never be able to do this again to anyone
Whitney,
else.
welcome.
So at this time, I'll take some questions.
Sheriff, two things. The mayor told us this morning that this was actually a gang-related targeted hit. And also, I'd like to know the 5 people that were arrested about 10:30 last night, how does that fit into the shooting that happened?
Well, the 5 people that were arrested, that was done by Stockton Police Department, so you'll have to follow up with them on that. As far as the mayor's comments, I'm sure she was well-intentioned on that, but at this time our investigation, as you know, is very early on. So we are not going to say one thing or specifically another thing until we've gone through all our evidence and know exactly that we're giving you exactly the facts of what occurred there. So we're not going to make a statement like that. We're going to say that we're confident that this was not a random act. They walked into this area and was probably looking for somebody in particular. Why they did that, what they're part of, who they are, we don't know. But this was not somebody who was unacquainted with them. We don't believe it was not something where the rest of the public has to fear. This wasn't just some terrorist type attack where they walked in and just wanted to kill people. So we're not gonna say whether it's gang related or not until we have all the facts in front of us.
Sheriff, do you believe there was one or more shooters at this point, from what you've heard?
You know, we believe from what we've gathered so far that there appears to be multiple shooters. But once again, we've gathered all the evidence, we're processing it, and then detectives will continue to investigate. And it'll take a little while, because as we gather the evidence, we'll find out whether there was one gun or multiple guns, or if we look at videos or we get statements from people if there was one shooter or multiple shooters. So once again, we're gonna be very diligent before we say definitively what there was.
Sheriff, earlier today we did see a tow truck taking away a black Kia. Is that part of the evidence, sir?
I'm unaware of that, but it wouldn't surprise me. There were multiple cars, I was told, that have been told We did see some that had bullet holes in it and things like that. So once again, being very detailed, not knowing how they fit into this puzzle, we're going to tow them, store them for evidence and storage, and then process those vehicles till we can understand how they fit into this puzzle.
And one more question, Sheriff. At one point of this investigation, would
Wow,
authorities
right,
going to be releasing any photos of suspects or at least vehicles of interest, any information so the public can help out?
You know, that will be up to our detectives. If they need that help from the public, then they will do that. But if they don't, or if they don't have that type of information at this time, then we won't be able to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Sheriff, how's the family doing? I'm sure you talked to them and
You know, I have not got to speak with the families. We have our grief counselors and throughout the county that are helping the best that we can. I just personally drove in here 8.5 hours from being with my family for Thanksgiving in Oregon, and so I put down my grandbabies to come hump down these animals who took somebody else's babies away from them. So I haven't been able to meet with all the families, but I understand that there's been so much community outreach to them that they're being well cared for, from what I hear.
Do we know the condition of the other victims? Taken? We were told from one of our reporters at the scene that an owner of the building from near the banquet hall that firearms were taken. They were found on the roof of his building.
Tell me more, Whitney. I don't know anything
You know,
about this case.
I understand that there were some firearms
motivation.
found on the roof of the building, but whether they're related to this crime or not, we do not know. So I don't know how many, if there were multiple or one. So we're just, again, waiting to see how they fit in, if they do, to this crime.
Do we know the condition of the victims?
I'm sorry?
Do we know the condition of the victims in the hospital?
You know, the only thing I know is that I know at least one is critical, and the status on all the other victims, I'm not sure. I have not heard.
And of the 4 deceased victims, do we know, did they live in Stockton? Were they visiting from out of town?
I do not have that answer. I'm sorry at this time.
Sheriff, did the shooting happen indoors or outdoors or both?
You know, it appears so far that it happened both. It appears that it started indoors and then worked its way outdoors.
Are the victims related?
You know, I don't know that. I don't know. I just know that it was a family birthday party, so I assume, like all of our family birthday parties, that friends and family and everybody comes together, and then this happens.
Sheriff, do you feel you're close to putting out some kind of description?
You know, I don't know if we're going to need to do that, or if we're going to do that. Once again, they just wrapped up at the scene, and we're still going through all the evidence that we have. So sometimes in crimes, you identify suspects and you don't have to put out a description or anything because you identified who they are. And other times, maybe we get video and we're not sure who they are, and then we'll put something out like that. So we're just going to see how it develops. And if we need that help, then we'll come back to you guys and ask you to help us with that.
Sure. Again, your plea to the community, people who may have information out there about this.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Again, your plea to the community, people who may have information.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important here. We need everyone to continue to reach out to us, even if you think it's something that contradicts what you see online or something like that. There's so much misinformation out there. Please, if you saw something, if you videotaped something, even if you think it's minor, reach out to us. Let us know. Call our office and let us take that piece of the puzzle and see if it's part of this or not. We'd much rather get a call from you that's not related than miss something that we absolutely need.
Sure, there's so many rumors out there. Will you confirm that at this point, no arrests, no one in custody?
We do not have anyone in custody at this time. With charges or anything like that regarding this crime.
Sheriff, what type of weapon was used in the shooting?
All I know is that the firearms were used. I'm unaware whether we obviously haven't had time to do ballistics and all that type, whether they are handguns or rifles or anything like that.
Do you know how many rounds were fired?
We don't know if we've recovered the weapon or not yet. We still have to tie this into what we've got.
Sheriff, first and last name for the people that know that we're sending this to.
My name is Patrick Withrow, Withrow, and I'm sheriff here of San Joaquin County.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
So you just heard the sheriff speak here at the press conference. We did want to say that we know that Stockton has had a history of mass shootings involving children, tragically. The shooting back in 1989.
Whitney says it was a kid's birthday, so yeah, probably cousins. 3 children, 1 adult killed, and then 11 wounded. I heard it was a total of 19. Did they downgrade it to just 11? The victims are at Dignity Hall at St. Joseph's Medical Center. Well, prayers go out to the families of all the victims and all those people who are in the hospital, you know, recovering from their injuries. Hopefully, the death toll in this mass shooting doesn't go up. A kid's birthday party. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. If this is gang related, like they're alleging here, damn. NorCal just, I don't know, they're on a different level then, because man, I thought kids were a no-go, but apparently it's, I don't know, that's crazy for somebody just to walk in there. I'm curious if the person, let's see, Darcy said a spat between family members or substance gang related. Oh, good question, not even sure. Whitney said the ages of the 3 children killed are 8, 9, and 14. God damn. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. This sucks. For kids. Yeah, man. I mean, I get it. You know, the gang politics are gang politics, but man, you guys got to leave the kids out of this, man. What's the whole point of going in there and spraying up a banquet hall full of kids at a kid's party? I'll never understand that. And plus, if this is gang related and the FBI is involved, or they get involved in this case, they are going to take down every single person who is responsible. I'm curious, you know, if they have anything else out on the FBI. That is ridiculous. There is no honor anymore. No, there's not. But, you know, I know every city, every state, you know, and the gangs that are out there, they have their own street politics. I'm just not familiar with that life. No, absolutely not. But yeah, that is horrible. I'm wondering if, no, I think that's the only thing that I have. Let's see. Let's see if there's any updates. This was posted 3 hours ago, so let's see if there's any updates.
Breaking news in Stockton. 3 children and 1 adult killed at a birthday party last night on Lucille Avenue near Thornton Road. Their ages 8, 9, 14, and 21 years old. Investigators are calling it targeted, and they believe more than one person is 21 year Thornton Road. Their ages 8, 9, 14, and 21 years old.
Oh, 21.
Investigators are calling it targeted, and they believe more than one person is responsible.
We believe, from what we've gathered so far, that there appears to be multiple shooters. But once again, we've gathered all the evidence, we're processing it, and then detectives will continue to investigate.
There have been reports of gang-related arrests overnight. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office confirms to ABC 10 that no one is in custody connected to the shooting yet. Investigators want you to have this number, though. If you have any information about what happened last night or a possible suspect, you're asked to call Stockton Crime Stoppers. The number's up on your screen now. It's 209-946-0600.
That's absolutely right, Melanie.
Again, that's 209-946-0600.
I sure have.
You can leave a tip anonymously. Thousands of dollars in reward money is also being offered. And we continue our team coverage tonight. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias is in Stockton at the site of a community vigil that just ended. And ABC 10's Gabriel Porras is at the San Joaquin Sheriff's Office, who is leading the investigation and has new information for us tonight. Gabe.
Yeah, Nazi, we just heard from the sheriff himself for the first time since this mass shooting just 24
Gold
hours
Digger,
ago
welcome.
here in Stockton.
What's up, Gold
Among
Digger?
other things here at his office, he said that the shooters were, quote, looking for someone in particular, and that this is not.
Whitney said the party was at a banquet hall, so that means it had to be a milestone birthday, maybe 15 or 16 or 13th birthday. Yeah, that's wild. I'm curious how the other people who were involved, the other people that are in the hospital, I wonder how they're doing.
Not seem to be a terrorist type attack. The big unknown still is who those shooters are. That search is still continuing tonight. Earlier today, we were at the scene in North Stockton where the ATF and FBI have now joined Sheriff's Office investigators on the ground. After a long night where police lights revealed grieving faces, daylight exposed a maze of crime scene tape.
And the fact that this happened is absolutely heartbreaking.
Pure heartbreak, investigators say, when a kid's birthday party meant to
We're taking out one of the next big rappers in the city.
Ended with 3 kids losing theirs.
We believe that families came.
Hold on, you guys. Video just came out a couple hours ago that I want to put on, and we'll kind of watch and react. This is Trapmore Ross, and Trapmore Ross is he's well known in like the hip hop news reporting space. And he did a video on this called The Deadly Gang War Behind Stockton Mass Shooting. 4 died, 19 hit. So we're going to go ahead and play that really quick. And we'll just kind of listen to what he's got to say. Because he does a lot of research on the hip-hop community. So he's fairly... he's well in tune with the hip-hop and all the stuff that happens on the streets.
Trapmore gang, we've got some really sad news coming out of Stockton, California, man. There's been a mass shooting. 4 people have lost their lives and over 10 people have been hurt. There's talk of maybe 19 people being hit in this incident, and there's a whole bunch of breaking news around it that I'm going to break down for you in this video. But it's so sad. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives in this incident. And it sounds like even a lot of children have unfortunately passed away as a result of this tragic incident that looks pretty clearly, obviously, to be gang related, unfortunately. And it gives me no... just, you know what I mean? It's just, there's absolutely no way of making sense of this situation. I mean, it's just out of control. This ain't no sliding on your op situation. This is a kid's party that got shot up. Apparently there was gang members there and they were the targets, and a whole bunch of kids have ended up getting hit. It's absolutely out of line, man. But let's take a look at some of this news, and I'll break down some of the information that's currently circulating about this on Reddit.
We're going to continue our team coverage of this breaking news with ABC 10's Roxanne Elias. We are learning the governor's Office of Emergency Services is monitoring this evolving situation and coordinating with local law enforcement. So here's a recap of what we know at this hour. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office is saying this happened shortly before 6 p.m. Their dispatch center got reports of a shooting that occurred at the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue. This is in Stockton.
Gold Digger just put in the chat that a rapper by the name of Flyboy Doey, known as Doeyaz 3Z, was allegedly at the party, and allegedly it was his daughter's birthday. Man, I am so not in tune with hip-hop today. This is not like it was 10 years ago. They got some crazy names. Whitney said, if this was a personal beef, a significant number of people will likely know exactly who is responsible for this, and possibly valuable information like hangouts, associates, family members, and their locations. I'm pretty sure Stockton PD, they said that there were 5 arrests overnight, so I'm assuming that, they either, one, knew who the shooters were, or they know about the affiliation of Flyboy Doey, and where the hangout spots are at. They probably locked down all the parks, and if they probably arrested any people, they probably just arrested them because they probably had firearms or guns on them. I don't know.
Can confirm 14 people were struck by gunfire and 4 victims have since been confirmed deceased. This is an active investigation. They're working to get information on who this suspect or suspects might be. There's no indication that they have any leads at this time. They say this is all under investigation, and as you just heard, the FBI also involved, and the governor also tweeting about this. The governor saying that they are looking at this, and that I can read it to you here, the the governor's press office saying that Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the horrific shooting in Stockton.
So this took place outside of like a ice cream parlor, right? It was a kid's birthday, and you know they.
So correction, I know that they were saying that ice cream parlor, but there's a Dairy Queen in that same parking lot, and it took place at a banquet hall that's in that plaza.
They're reporting that you know, there's at least 3 children dead, and it sounds like 1 adult dead as well. Now, there's a lot of advertising on this article, which is very interesting, but I'll talk about that another day. It was a child's birthday party at Stockton Banquet Hall, man. Like, that's just not where this should be going down. The deceased victims are aged 8, 9, and 14 years old, along with a 21-year-old adult. This one says 15 people were shot in the attack. Obviously, we were just here on the news that was 14 people. It's just so sad. You know, it's just like, it's just unbelievable. So obviously you've got the mainstream media reporting on this. We're seeing footage from the scenes. You know, we're seeing people in the area talking about what's going down. You know, obviously everybody's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. People saying they heard screaming, so many sirens, they didn't go out there and look. The violence has been plaguing our city for a while. You know, so many comments were like, it's just Stockton, but the violence shouldn't be normalized. We live here. We don't want our grandkids thinking this violence is all right. This is the state of things in Stockton, okay? This is basically how bad things have gotten. And now a lot of posts are going around on Reddit. They're trying to identify the individuals who might have been killed. Maybe they were kind of part of this group of rappers / gangsters, you know, that have apparently been at war in Stockton for a while. People are saying MB Nell and Dougie Threes from Stockton may well be amongst those killed. Everybody's
Dougie
trying to work it out.
Okay.
There's a lot of comments, people saying I live a few minutes from the spot where this happened. Apparently 19 was shot and at least 4 died, including a 12-year-old. So apparently one of the victims was a 9-year-old girl too, which is just so messed up, man. It's just so messed up. So people saying a grown man posting about 2 dudes getting spanked at a party. Why are all these accounts so weird? I think there was a couple of posts of people going around kind of bragging about this situation. Someone said, I'm in Stockton now. It's sad they don't mention how many kids got shot and some got killed as well. I'm pretty sure the FBI is involved now. And the FBI is on the case, apparently. It says, yeah, whoever did this legit crashed out and don't care about getting caught, or they're actually effing stupid. They just did a mass shooting and killed kids and got national attention for it. Yeah, them and all of their friends going bye-bye within 3 years. I bet everything. It's just so sad. This says that account be itching to post deceased people. They literally made a story asking who got footage of XYZ. Just so fanned out.
Your King, what's
up?
up?
It's wild how many nerds will be
welcome.
parasocial to gang life like that account that posted this. West Coast Gang Wars saying they got spanked at a party. I'm not even going to mention the kids though. Lame. You can post news and not make it overly disrespectful. You know, that is disrespectful the way they've posted that. It says, I've got multiple confirms that MB Nell from Musty Broads and Flyboy Dougie got spanked at a party. Allegedly, it was the party of Gano from Musty Broad's daughter. That's just so sad, man. So apparently a member of this gang called the Flyboys did pass away. This is going around. This is from San Joaquin Top Hats, which obviously the whole thing's just so morbid to even be following it like this. But it says apparently one Flyboy member has been pronounced deceased, and it wasn't Billy or Nell. Now you've got people in the comments just reiterating everything that we've already seen. It says whoever did this shooting is done for. The story's going to make national news. Really shot up a kid's party at an ice cream place. Said, yep, I can guarantee the feds already picked this case up. It's too high profile for them not to. This happened 6 minutes away from my house. The scene was insane. I've never seen that many police cars and pandemonium in my life. Among law enforcement agencies responding are the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. They're going to make an example out of whoever did this, especially with the current government's view on gang crime. Okay, whoever did this, by the grace of Satan, their set doesn't end up in federal prison by next year. They might end up getting swished.
Darcy, you're out in Chicago, right? I mean, is the gang violence out there, especially on O Block, is it just as bad as it, you know, as we hear it to be?
Cheese for this off the attention they brought alone. They're going to F around and get deported to we hang immigrants here, Africa, with the administration we got in office. Hey, whoever's responsible for this, bro, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want with them, man. Do whatever you want with them. Send them wherever you got to send them, man. El Salvador, Rwanda. Just see you later, buddy. Like, there ain't no sympathy for this. People saying, who the hell shoots up a child's birthday party? Gang members do, all right? People saying this is some heinous shit, even by gang standards. Not that it's ever happened, but this is not normal gang stuff. People saying no difference in this, shooting up a house, funeral, or park in broad daylight, or getting down anywhere that's busy with civilians. People saying not even no police shit, but I really hope they get their ass caught. Shooting up a kid's party, bro, like what beef is that serious? This ain't even gangbanging, this is just evil. What the F? Sick, demonic people out here. Whoever is smoking innocent kids like that deserves the needle, and with this administration, they very well may get it. Saying they'll use this as an excuse to flood more areas across the country with National Guard checkpoints and maybe even potential red flag laws. And at the end of the day, none of that will fix anything. People saying, I don't care who done it. Whoever shot that up lost all G points in the hood with me. 4 people died and they were all children. Apparently 2 were adults. Apparently 3 kids, 1 adult. We're not 100% sure at this stage, okay? But 4 people did lose their lives. Now, people on Reddit have been pointing out even further that, yes, the FBI were on the scene already. The FBI will be taking this case. People saying MB Nell is the person that got hit. We don't know that for sure. But essentially there's posts around this going around, okay? People saying FBI on the scene. Clowns, knock it off. I mean, people are disliking that, but look, FBI, they're going to cook everybody involved in this. Now, somebody on Reddit was explaining North Cali politics in the streets in the aftermath of this.
You were talking
there were
about
a lot
this
of comments
earlier.
that gave a lot of backstories. Someone said, as an LA dude, can somebody explain Stockton or up North Cali politics? Are these cliques or gangs getting into it? I've seen some stuff that said Musty Boys. Is that a crew? Seems like Stockton politics are its own world. The story just made national news, and the names of these gangs and cliques keep on popping up. LA gang's been the same name since the 70s and 80s. Seems like dudes are just making stuff up there in Northern Cali, though. People saying, nah, MB stands for the Muddy Boys Crips, but that blogger got beef with them, so he calls them the Musty Broads and adds gay in their members' names. Damn, I didn't know that. When I was reading Musty Broads, I was thinking, okay, that's their name. There must be some history behind that. But apparently that blogger got beef with them, and he's disrespecting the guys this happened to. Now, that's out of line, too. I'm not going to lie. That's so out of line. People saying Sacramento and Stockton got similar politics in the sense they're a hybrid of Bay Area hood and clique politics and LA gang politics. Stockton has Crips and Bloods, but that's more in jail, because on the streets they will be more on the hood stuff, and each hood functions differently. Some are damn near all Asian and all black. Some are more mixed. A lot of them share their hoods with Norteños who have their own politics. To keep it real, it's very confusing and messy as F. You also got ones that are tied into Oakland politics, and that goes for both Stockton and Sacramento. It says Sacramento and Stockton are also the 2 cities in California where Asian or black on black or Asian gang violence is normalized, and those 2 races heavily mingle with each other. A lot of gangs out there have a lot of both races or a flat out Asian and black. It says up north cliques and hoods were being made up to the late 2000s. MB stands for Muddy Boys. They're Asian Crips. They're new generation true Pinoy Crips that started in the early 90s.
Pinoy.
A lot of hoods been around since the 70s and 90s, but a lot haven't as well, like EBK J-Bo's hoods. Nightingale started in the early 80s. Most Blood and Crip hoods started in the 90s or earlier. Lots of cliques that started post 90s though included a lot of tag bangers. Then you got Nortes, who kill each other a lot. Your last line cracks me up, because at one point these hoods was some shit that they made up, then they got history over time. There were tagger cliques in Stockton called H20, hard to obtain. Now they're a Norte hood, and they started in the mid 2000s.
I'm gonna have my my camera off while these comments are being read.
People saying, dudes say LA politics doesn't make sense until you try explaining up north. Just Sacramento and Stockton is confusing enough. Don't get me started on the rest of the north or the Bay Area specifically. Some people are saying it's not that complicated. It's honestly just Crips and Bloods going at it. People saying, okay, so it's basically cliques and crews within some of these hoods who are originally Bloods, Crips, or Nortes. People saying that's pretty much it in simpler terms. People saying, think more like Oakland. Neighborhoods adopt varying letters and names. People are downvoting that. People saying MB got hella beef from Conway to EBK, Louis Park, Verde Park. It could be any of those hoods that did it. Now, a lot of people are saying that these gangs, they're possibly going to all be dead by tomorrow, or at least locked up. EBK, Louis Park Bloods, and the Fly Boys will be dead gangs by tomorrow. The RICO is on the way. Anybody spraying up kids' birthday parties deserves the hell that's going to raid down on them. People saying, source, Poetic Flacco. Shout out Flacco, man. People saying, good, protect the kids. This is one of those times where it's like, it's actually quite surprising, but it's like a lot of people that are in these gang subreddits, like, they're keeping it real and saying, bro, fuck that. Like, we do not condone this. It's not cool. People saying, I hope they crack down on the violence and crime. It's been unbearable. I see the good in Stockton. There is so much untapped potential. This city could be one of the greats if things were on the right path. These children deserve better. People saying, good. MS think they're tough. All they do is shoot up houses and parties and cars, always hitting innocent civilians. Nobody walking down their actual targets. It's pussy stuff. I mean, the Stockton boys have multiple viral walkdowns. This was probably someone trying to show out for EBK because they are currently eating. saying has somebody been arrested. This doesn't seem related. That's not related. Just a sad situation, man. Now, there were videos going around of the cops locking off different hoods in the area. They're saying the cops were locking off Louis Park. This is Bounce Back Meek's hood right after the shooting. They're saying it could be possibly related. And they're saying they towed away an SUV that had bullet holes in it. So clearly the cops are on it, all right? And apparently there's already been an arrest. It's unclear exactly how connected it is, whether it's the exact people that did it. But this is breaking news. It says 4 people arrested on conspiracy and weapons charges shortly after the mass shooting in Stockton.
Trapmore Ross, man. Shout out to Trapmore Ross doing his research on all this, because the only thing I've heard was just on the news. Let me see what. Let's go back to the chat really quick. Let's see what everybody's saying about this. Whitney said DM'd you on Discord an article that had photos. Okay, we'll definitely check that out for sure. You're king. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome. Thugs Nationwide. Darcy said, Thugs Nationwide see themselves as bad ass rappers. Sadly, look at Chicago's O Block crews. Yep. Melanie, all the way from Australia. Thank you for tuning in, hanging out with us. So I'm glad Australia has strict gun laws. What are the gun laws out there? Can citizens of Australia, can they hold guns? Can they carry guns? The party was for a rapper named Nanos. I'm so old. Stockton was a destination for pea soup. Darcy said, I'm in LA but been following Trap Lore. Shout out to Trapmore Ross for holding it down, for coming up with all these, all this. This is a lot of good research. I never would have known where to find all this information about this. Whitney says, taxes are too high to have to deal with gang politics. Yeah, no, especially out here in LA. Crazy. Might be in my imagination, but it seems like since ICE arrived, the gangs are lying low in LA, LBC, Orange County. I don't know. I mean, depends on who you ask, right? I mean, I have all these news apps and I get minute-to-minute updates on everything. So I hear about shootings. Literally, since I've joined the live, I've heard about 2 shootings already. I just got a notification on X that said a person was shot and killed on Walnut and Carlton. LAPD investigating a fatal shooting in Venice. So, and then yeah. And then ABC just reported Simi Valley police are investigating a double shooting that left a married couple in their 60s dead on Sunday. Police believe the shooting was targeted attack. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if these are gang related or not, but I don't know. The crime out here has not slowed down. If anything, it's probably gotten worse.
It says police really be knowing exactly what's going on. They know where to go if they really want you. People saying it's not that hard in Stockton, it's small, and all these guys write songs telling on themselves. They're saying the whole gang is going to get hanged because of this. They could have just waited for whoever they were looking for to leave and caught them later, but instead these dumbasses choose to shoot up a kid's party. People saying, well, that's beef though. Well, now they're cooked over some BS. Bunch of steaks up in this bitch. Everybody's cooked for sure. And then this is a post that somebody made. This is the street where the shootings took place. It was all still locked down. Nobody can go down there.
Mollywood said, I keep hoping they will grow some and go against ICE, but one can dream. Man, I don't know if that would ever happen. I think that would just spark a civil war, especially out here in California. Tensions are so high when it comes to, ICE being out in the streets. If you guys aren't from Los Angeles or aren't in California, ICE, people are protesting ICE 24/7. Anytime ICE is in the area, you're definitely going to see a crowd of people protesting against them. You're going to see some people fighting back. I know a couple months ago when ICE was out here, people were throwing rocks and just a whole bunch of stuff at the cars that were driving by. So there's definitely a lot of tension out here, especially when it comes to ICE.
People saying Bounce Back Meek posted a bottle of Henny on his story, dissing right after it happened, then deleted it. People saying Pyru Briss posted DMs between him and Dougie Threes and MB Nell. He also said something, we from Devil's Island, we don't believe in the Lord. You know, these guys are really some Satan worshipping gangbangers. It's crazy. It says they confirm one of the victims as Norte. Whoever did it going to be at war with everyone now, bro. Saying whatever hood did this is going to go extinct between the local PD and the feds and the governor's office. Forget about it. You're going to see conspiracy charges on dudes that just claimed this gang, as they should be. 3 kids are gone. People saying it's so funny. This is a gangbanging sub. Most of the dead people talked about on this sub are children, but this one is too far. Homie over here clutching his pearls like, oh my God, the children, ignoring all the other dead children. Keep that same energy every time a kid is killed instead of this performative outrage. People saying, bruh, it was an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old among the victims. That's not the same shit as these 15-year-olds that get shot. People saying, why not? Why are some children's lives more valuable than the other children's lives? Kind of makes sense. I get what they're saying. People saying RIP to whatever hood they're from. People saying that's quick. Just goes to show all of these murders and shootings can be solved. They only solve them, though, when there's political pressure like this. FBG Duck in the rich shopping area.
I don't know if there's any truth
Pab
to
in
that.
another high-end shopping district. Cops should be clearing around 99% of murders in 2025, but if it doesn't make national news, cops will just be like, I don't care. People saying those could be people who were shooting back or just caught on camera with guns and not the sliders, but more arrests to come for sure. Apparently, Louis Park is into it with MB Fly. But people say they don't know what this is all about. Apparently Louis Park is Bounce Back Meek and Javon 2900's hood. They've been messing with MB Nell's hood and Stupid Young for a minute. Now, there was an interesting post on the situation going around on X. So this is quite an interesting post that I thought was actually worth reading. This says, there was a mass shooting in Stockton, California last night where 14 people were shot, 4 of whom died. A bunch of us salty cops were discussing it in a group text last night. We all immediately assumed the exact same thing, gang shooting. This morning, reading the propaganda, news reports about the shooting, our assumptions were confirmed. The victims included both children and adults, said Heather Brent, a spokesperson for the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Early indications suggest this may have been a targeted incident, Brent said during a news conference at the scene. Targeted incident, that is politically correct speak for gang shooting. Meanwhile, gun violence is being blamed, and all the politicians who have allowed this to happen are pretending like it was the guns and not the laws they passed that are to blame. Laws making it illegal to maintain gang databases. Laws that reclassified violent crimes as non-violent crimes. Laws that require cashless bail. Laws that reduce sentences for violent criminals, laws that have created the current catch and release system. All of those laws were crafted and passed by the same people decrying gun violence right now in the state with the longest standing and strictest set of gun laws in the nation.
I'm assuming they're talking about California, right?
Totally unsurprising to anyone with a sliver of a functioning brain is the fact that criminals are not hindered by the gun laws that make it extremely difficult for law-abiding people to get a gun. Pro tip, it's not the gun laws that are lacking, it's the will to enforce laws against violent criminals that need reinforcing. Gun laws are the solution offered by politicians to appease the simple-minded. This type of violent attack will continue until society decides to address the actual problem, just like we did back in the 1990s. Okay, it's an interesting, very interesting post. I do hate X. I'm not going to lie, I do actually hate X. But, you know, I think there is actually some good points to be made just as far as, like, look, I'm not a massive gun nut. I've touched guns a couple times in my life. But, like, clearly, this is a gang problem. And everybody knows that I report on gangs, but at the end of the day, bro, like, we're going to have to sort this out. Now, there was a video that was dropped by Stay Safe World, essentially claiming to explain the entire beef between MB Nell and Dougie Threes getting hit up in this Stockton party. So I wanted to just check this video out and react to it with you guys and just see if there's any...
We're going to watch a video of someone doing a reaction. Of me doing a reaction to somebody watching a reaction video. That's funny.
Interesting backstory here because I don't know a whole lot about this beef, and now that we've got all the context, it'd be worth us kind of working this out and learning about this. So let's check this out and shout out to Stay Safe World.
In order to understand how things got this crazy, where some creative player crash outs had to pull up and air out a whole party for a kid, you got to understand how unhinged 2 of the main gangs in the area are between EBK and Fly Boys, aka Mud Boys. The Northern California drill scene is where serial killers go to make music. Imagine getting killed by a nigga and your diss track only gets 100K views. This is real life. The Stockton, California rap scene is the closest thing to giving Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, or Richard Ramirez a mic and some of the hardest West Coast beats that have ever been made. This city's not even top 10 in state population, but has been #1 for the whole state in murder since 2010. While there's little hope in the armpit of California.
Wow, did not know that Stockton is #1. It says here Stockton has a population of 313,604, and there were 4,380 reported violent crimes. The violent crime rate in Stockton is 1,397 per 100,000 people. There are approximately 34 murders, 181 Rs, and 1158 robberies and 3,007 aggravated assaults annually in Stockton. 34 murders. That's wild.
Somehow, some way, in the midst of the violence,
have released new images of suspects from a homicide investigation accused of murder.
The death and the destruction, fans became captivated with one group that made waves all throughout the state, EBK, a clique of Nightingale Bloods from Southeast Stockton that is home to legends in the California drill scene like Young Slobey, EBK Young Jock, and the face of California rap right now, EBK J-Bo. J-Bo was supposed to have a breakout year, being featured on NBA YoungBoy's tour and becoming the first XSL freshman to record his cypher in jail. It was supposed to be a movie, however the streets would catch up and ruin his motion altogether. This group literally took his name to heart and is allegedly responsible for putting belt to ass against the whole city, and it's come.
So J-Bo, man, people are obsessed with J-Bo in California, I swear. Like, all people want to talk to me about is J-Bo. And I rock with J-Bo. I like his music. I did a video on him on this channel quite a while ago. But, like, bruh, like, people are obsessed with this guy. And it sounds like he was just having some motion and he kind of threw it all away. It's very, very unfortunate, man. And I think he's facing, what is it, murder for hire charges right now? And, like, he was supposed to be on tour with YoungBoy. Like, it's facts, man. Like, he definitely blew a big opportunity there.
With consequences. To make it out of a place like Stockton is not easy. From facing one of the largest gang takedowns in California history.
I can tell you that this gang takedown that they just had is not only helping to prevent crimes that are just about to happen, but it's also helping to solve the ones that already occurred. Now, you mentioned it, what they took off the streets. So let me show you, and you can see them right there. 58 guns, 10 of them assault rifles, another 12 of those were ghost guns.
Members like Slobey and EBK Osama getting gunned down, to alleged shooters like EBK Lil Play fighting life for taking out one of the next big rappers in the city. The story behind the war in Stockton is one of the craziest that I've ever seen in America. Stockton, California is the forgotten city of California. Tucked in the San Joaquin Valley, it was once an essential place for farming and workers looking for places to live so they could commute to close by cities of Sacramento or the Bay Area. However, the 2008 housing crisis hit the city hard like many cities in inland California. Many became victims of predatory loans and the eventual foreclosures, which left poverty to run rampant. With people unable to pay taxes to the local government, even the city of Stockton was forced to go bankrupt in 2012 after running a deficit of $26 million. Like, bro, imagine being broke and you living in the literal brokest major city in America. It's not going to end well. This abject poverty affected Black and Latino communities the most, and this led to many people joining gangs to survive and try to run up some bread when legal avenues ran out. One of these gangs.
All right, I'm going to skip past because a lot of you guys know about J-Bo, right? But I want to hear about the guys that actually are involved in this incident.
While EBK was becoming the face of Stockton rap, there were other cliques from the South that were also coming up in the rap scene, some of which even had close ties to members of EBK. One of those cliques was home to rapper MB Nell. MB Nell, originally born to Filipino immigrants in the South Stockton area in the 8th Street section, became active in the streets from birth, having relatives who were banging Asian Crip gangs. With no opportunities present at the time,
Goal, I heard about that. Goal said, yes, Flojo gang violence on the rise. Big U, a big-time shot caller rolling 60s Crip, became a community leader, is in jail for RICO charges. His son was gunned down on Halloween night. Streets are hot. And his brother is in the NFL, right? His brother plays on, was it the Rams or the Chargers? One of those teams?
His homies started gangbanging as a means to survive and created their own clique called Mud Boys. MB Nell has close ties to another infamous Crip set in the area called Fly Boys, with most notable rappers Jay Black, who was the original face of their side before his unfortunate passing, and Bands, who's the current face, who pretty much dropped the most incriminating no-jumper interview ever.
Got my face? Trophy. Oh, on the other side, yeah. What did I say? 2,900K. What is the top? Above that, it's got a W.
Wait, was MB Nell shot? Isn't he like a Cambodian rapper? That's MB Nell right there. I don't know if he's Cambodian or not. Don't come after me if I'm wrong.
Ties to another infamous Crip set in the area called Fly Boys, with most notable rappers Jay Black, who was the original face of their side before his unfortunate passing, and Bands, who's the current face, who pretty much dropped the most incriminating no-jumper interview ever.
Got my face? Trophy. Oh, on the other side, yeah. What did I say? 2,900K. What is the top? Above that, it's got a W. With what in it? It's like a W with bullet holes. How many? 3. Okay.
They talking about was arrested shortly after for a wild murder. Originally, the Fly Boys and EBK members from 2100 Nightingale were pretty close. The older members had a shared history, so at one point back in the day, these two sides were just one.
From Mariposa to HE, bro, just break down a little history, brother. Yeah. I'm gonna let my brother do it. Well, basically, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna fly in here, cause I'm gonna let Cuz do it. Like I said, like brother said, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it was all one. We niggas be out there getting money, all this shit, you feel me? And then, like you said, like, you know, like how it happens. Older niggas go to jail, you know, niggas disappear, the structure get lost, you feel me? So, and then that's when it just picks up from there. It could be anybody. It could be a little 14-year-old and he did this and that. Now he the one making the shots. And then he have all these niggas under him. Yeah, like it's actually like that. Like 14-year-old kid kills a couple people, and then all of a sudden everybody else like.
However, a 2021 shooting of a beloved Fly Boys member who had ties to Nightingale would apparently launch an all-out war that would claim the lives of many. It would apparently kick off with the death of beloved member Jay Jonah on January 15, 2021. Stockton police responded to a report at 5:36 p.m. of Thursday shots fired in the area of the 7th Street and Nightingale Avenue. When officers arrived, they located a crime scene and learned a gunshot victim was transported to a hospital by a private party. The 20-year-old victim died a short time later at the hospital. This marked a major split within both groups as EBK J-Bo would go on to diss JJ on many records, most notably in the song Casualty with Lil Rye, where he'd say, Mr. Fly K, since 17, I've been on them niggas. Or mix J Jonah with a black, that's real Zaza. Yeah, it's safe to say if you're
so clearly, right, the beef between EBK J-Bo's crew and, you know, basically like these groups, you know, the Flyboys, it's out of control, right? And it's just so sad to see that it's really got to this. Like, for it to actually have gotten to this point, it's just like, it's just so sad to see. Now, look, I don't know if I want to watch this entire video. I'm going to go away and do my own research on this situation, and there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that basically is going to come off the back of this, and I'll keep you guys updated on any of the stuff to do with this situation. But it's just really sad to know what's going on up there in Stockton, man. And you know, for the kids that have been affected by this, you know, it's just prayers up for the man. You know, I don't feel like this goes too far. You know, really, like, I don't condone any of the gang violence. All the stuff that I cover in my videos, you know, I'm documenting the history. I'm not condoning it. I don't think any of it's cool. And low key, a lot of these rappers that we all know and love should be in jail. I'm sorry, it's true. All right, people get mad when I say Lil Durk's cooked, but like, if Lil Durk really organized a murder for hire that killed an innocent man that had nothing to do with the beef, wasn't even there when King Von died, bro, you need to be in jail for life. And whoever did this, it's the same shit. Whether it's a kid or a grown man who's Quando's cousin who ain't have nothing to do with nothing, y'all need to be in jail. Period. I'm sorry. We love the music. You need to be in jail. We can't have innocent people. Oh, we was trying to slide. We was trying to slide. Bro, dead that, man. It's embarrassing. But anyway, man, I'll keep you guys updated on this situation. Right now, the facts are a little bit shaky, but I'm going to be digging into everything a lot more deeply going forward, and I will keep you guys updated on everything that's going on, man. Thank you for watching this update, and I'll catch you in
Have I been on mute this whole time? Oh my lord, oh my lord. Yep, you're right. Damn. I didn't think I'd mess up like that. But all right, let me just say what I said earlier. I said shout out to Trapmore Ross for doing an amazing job on covering this. I didn't realize that you know, this incident was that deep, and you know, didn't even know that it was gang related. But yeah, I was just saying that it's sad that 19 people were shot, 4 people dead, most of them children, 8, 9, 14, and 21. It's horrible. And I just think that, you know, I don't know if the police, whoever's investigating, are going to be this tight-lipped about it, but they're definitely going to come down crashing hard on whoever is responsible, whether it is adults, kids. I know the FBI is involved now, and I'm assuming that's because it was, you know, more than 5 people shot. I don't know what qualifies an incident to have FBI involved, but I'm assuming because it was considered a mass casualty event, or what we call like an MCI out here, FBI is going to do what they need to do to find everything out. And who knows, they may even come to Trapmore Ross's video to find out. I don't know. But I think we're going to be switching topics now. We're going to just kind of jump into little updates on the D4vd. It was a little sad, you know, this is a little sad transition. But rest in peace to those that lost their lives, and you know, wishing those who were injured and are still recovering a speedy recovery. I don't know, it's going to be hard for families to recover from something like this, and I do wish them you know, all the best, because this is going to be hard for anybody. I mean, just for the whole city of Stockton. I'm not particularly excited to see what the repercussions are going to be, especially on a street level, because if 4 children are dead, or 3 children and 1 adult are dead. I can only imagine what the ramifications are going to be for those people that are involved. I don't know if this is going to be just something that's going to spiral out of control. You know, who knows? This might even trigger our president to send the National Guards out there. Who knows? You know? But we're going to switch up topics because there's been a few updates that have came out on YouTube. And this is, surrounding the D4vd case. Shout outs to Mark the Shark, who covered all this earlier. But I want to just kind of review some of this. So if you guys have seen this already, we're just going to kind of review this. Let me see. There's 2 videos from Khadisha Lynn, and then I think there's 2 videos from Matt Thibodeau that I kind of want to go over with you guys and talk about.
It's the same thing that somebody.
So this is a video that Khadisha Lynn put out. This is the D4vd investigation bombshell. Tesla caught in the same spot during the springtime. Let's go ahead and
outlets
jump
are
right
covering
into it.
that their LAPD sources are telling them that they believe that Celeste passed away in the spring of 2025. And I found some relevant information that might point to that actually being true. As you know, David's Tesla was first ticketed on August 27th of 2025 for being in the same spot for over 72 hours. And his car was on 1406 Bluebird Avenue. As you can see, it's still a pretty good distance. It makes no sense why he would park his car all the way on Bluebird Avenue, because here is David's house and up here is where his car was parked out front of. Eventually, it ended up being towed because he didn't move it on September 8th. Report of David's Tesla being towed, they took these photos that are included in the report that we got from the PI, Steve Fisher. But we also know, according to Steve Fisher, the last time this car was parked on Bluebird Avenue was July 29th, and then David left on tour. They also have the LAPD telling different news sources like the Los Angeles Times the same thing, that somebody parked this car in the end of July for the very last time on Bluebird Avenue. This was not the only time that David's Tesla sat in this same exact spot. And a YouTuber that records going down all of the streets in LA stumbled across David's Tesla in this same exact spot that it was towed from on Bluebird Avenue on May 14th of 2025. Mind you, that spring. But just wait, because it gets worse. There's his Tesla. I have it on slow-mo. This is Bluebird.
Your King says that's close to the other house he rented, right? The one Celeste was living in. Yeah, so this is considered the mansion house, 1368 Vareo Drive, or 1368 Doheny Place. I don't know, for some weird reason they have the same address or different addresses, but it's the same house. And then the other house that you guys are talking about is 804 North Doheny Drive, I think. But yeah, this is the one. This is the mansion that D4vd was staying in, that he recently left and was recently raided with that search warrant.
Here's the stop sign where it says Bluebird Avenue. We know when David's Tesla was parked for the very last time, according to the PI, on July 29th of 2025. Right after this, David left out on tour. He first headed to San Francisco. And when on Bluebird Avenue on May 14th of 2025. Mind you.
So a person who just drives around LA had a video of D4vd's alleged Model X.
That spring. But just wait, because it gets worse.
Okay.
There's his Tesla. I have it on slow-mo.
Is that his Tesla?
This is Bluebird.
Hold on. Is that the Tesla? So, just in case anybody's wondering, though, there's a good possibility that this car may not be his, and I'm not saying that that's 100% for sure, but I do know our good friend Mark the Shark has been boots on the ground in that area, and he has said that there are so many Teslas in that area. It's not even funny, and he said that a lot of them were black, some of them look very similar, so it's possible. I mean, it's a good chance it might be his. But I don't know.
I have it on
knows
slow
for sure. Does that have the Texas registration tags? I can't tell.
This is Bluebird. Here's the stop sign where it says Bluebird Avenue. We know when David's Tesla was parked for the very last time, according to the PI, on July.
And you know what? I'm really curious about what really happened to this Tesla. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of dirt that's accumulated on there, and it's got a little bit of like maybe rain spots. But why the damage on the Tesla? I don't know. It's just weird. Was he not driving this car for a really long time, or did this just become like the storage location for Celeste?
July 29th of 2025. Right after this, David left out on tour. He first headed to San Francisco. When this YouTuber, unbeknown to them, caught a recording of David's Tesla on May 14th, guess where David was? He was out of the country on tour. We have two different instances where this Tesla is being parked on Bluebird Avenue and obviously left while he goes on tour. The day before, the YouTube
Your King is a woman said, I think he took it to the desert to do his dirty deeds. When you say desert, do you mean like Santa Barbara, or do you have like a particular area you think that he may have taken it?
YouTuber caught the Tesla sitting on Bluebird Avenue in May. David was performing on May 13th in Malaysia. And from Malaysia on May 16th, he would then go to the Philippines. And a couple days later, David would go to South Korea. And then on May 25th, he was then in Tokyo, Japan for the Anime Awards. Mind you, I find this very sketchy that he was also doing the same thing with this car all the way back in May, because a year ago, when you search David's home that he stayed at in LA, he was parking his Tesla right out front. It's still on Google Maps. Now we know there are two consecutive times of him parking that Tesla all the way up here from his house before he would go on tour. The second time of the May time frame is starting to correlate with what the LAPD sources are telling the media. This goes with multiple conflicting reports that we were receiving at the beginning of all of this from neighbors. Some neighbors reported that the Tesla was moved several times over the past 3 months before it was found at its final parking spot on Bluebird Avenue in the Hollywood Hills. But other neighbors' accounts suggested that the car had been in the final spot for a month or an extended period of time before being reported abandoned. Both of these accounts would make absolute sense now. Because the PI, Steve Fisher, said the last person that moved this Tesla parked this Tesla on Bluebird Avenue on July 29th, and the LAPD also confirmed that the Tesla was parked at the very end of July for the very last time. This is why some neighbors were saying it was in the same spot for a month, because it was. Then the car again was spotted on May 14th of 2025, which would make the other neighbors' reportings that the Tesla was moving around and it was also in this spot for 3 months correct also. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Okay, that was Khadijah Lynn. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about all of this? You think that it's really weird that every time he was out for a tour that he would just go out and move the car and park it on Bluebird. I mean, it seems like that was his behavior, but why move it in front of the neighbor's house? Why not just keep it right where you parked it? Hold on really quick. I'm gonna open up a new tab and I'm gonna go to Google Maps. I want to show you guys because Rayo Drive. I was looking on Google the other day, or actually it was yesterday. Today. Not yesterday, today. And what do you know? The house is now blurred out. The house is no longer there. Golddigger said, weird that it was parked on a street that he didn't live on. Absolutely. And I was just looking at let me see. I have to find it. Hold on. Because I saw a video earlier today. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let me see if this is the video.
Really hot.
This is a video of a news report that they talked about the smell, right? The smell that was coming out of the car, out of the Tesla. This was way back in September 10th. So this was 2 days after the body was discovered. ABC 7 went around Hollywood and they were interviewing neighbors, and so this was on Doheny Drive and Bluebird Avenue. I like how they placed them right there so you can see, right? This is what they were saying.
Really hot.
Yeah.
Oh, this is upsetting.
Residents of this West Hollywood Bird Streets neighborhood.
What's this?
Of this West Hollywood Bird Streets neighborhood are realizing tonight they've been unknowingly walking past a dead body for some time now. When this
Hold on, is there another video playing in the background? What's going on here?
Residents of this West Hollywood Bird Streets neighborhood are realizing tonight they've been unknowingly walking past a dead body for some time now. When this Tesla arrived at a Hollywood tow yard Monday morning, workers say the car was emitting a foul smell, and it wasn't long before the decomposing body of a woman was discovered in the front trunk. It was the same smell these residents and their dogs have been smelling for more than a week now.
He took a very big interest in sniffing.
Why is this? Sorry, you guys. For some reason, the audio just sounds weird. It's off.
All of it. I'm just remembering something. I mean, this is going to sound horrible. So we would walk by the hedges, and I'm like, the hedges always smell like something decomposing. And there's a lot of rats around in here, but there was always a smell. There was always a smell.
This man, who lives about 50 yards from where the car was parked, didn't smell anything, but says he did notice something seemed off.
The only thing odd was out of a state license plate, and it was banged up and kept moving from one place to other place within a couple of blocks from here.
The car, which has Texas plates, is registered to the singer David, who is from Texas. David, whose full name is David Anthony Burke, has 33 million monthly listeners on Spotify and 3.6 million followers on TikTok. He's currently in the midst of a world tour, performing tonight in Minneapolis. So far, there's been no comment from the singer, but incidentally, a second body was found in another impounded car today, this time in a burned-out vehicle in South LA. This one is not believed to be connected to the Tesla. Police in the coroner's office are now working to determine who the victims are in both cases.
Okay, Darcy,
in the WeHo case, Eyewitness News has learned the woman was small in stature, weighing less than 100 pounds, and had a tattoo on her right index finger reading SHHH.
Puzzled, very surprised that hopefully they could find out what happened.
Imagine being the homeowner of this house and renting this house out to David's management for $20,000 a month, and then let's see, because Adele, you brought it up. Now I wanna talk about it. What's up, buddy? You good? Yoshi's over here tearing up a piece of cardboard now. It's okay. You can finish what you're doing. These are images of the house on compass.com, and I don't know where did it say? Okay, this one says $23,000 a month for this. I want to say it was on apartments.com. Look at that. You guys can't see it. Hold on. Let me move myself out of the way. But look at this, you guys. Can you guys see this? look how much this place is going for now. 13,990. I mean, it's still a lot of money, way more than anything that I can afford, right? But that went from $23,000 right here, right? Or where was it at? Right here. Where was the price at? I could have sworn we just seen it. Anyways, it went from $23,000 a month all the way down to $13,999. That must be horrible. I'd be pissed off if I was Mladen Trifunovic. Adele said, that was me that mentioned it. I don't know whose stream or whose chat it was in. Maybe it was Mark's. Gold Digger said, so the woman with the dog said she smelled something, but the man said he didn't smell anything. Flojo, it's weird that the two ticket enforcement people didn't smell nada, nor the tow man. Yeah, you know what? That is really weird. Why all of a sudden, 3 days into the car being impounded at the tow lot, there was a smell. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was just weird to have that lady strategically placed right in front of the street sign, and her walking her dog, and that dog looked like a, one of them bloodhound type dogs. Yashoda, welcome. How's it going? And she's the only one that mentions that there's a smell. So I don't know. But yeah, that must really suck for the homeowner. His property now is going for $13,999 a month. So if any of you guys want to rent out the old D4vd mansion, hit up apartments.com. Apparently it's on the market. 4 bedrooms, 5 bath. I still see the house. There's a Mercedes Benz parked in front of it. Your King, are you watching it, or are you looking at the map on Apple? I think you can still see the map on Apple Maps, but on Google, when you go around or when you come to the house, that whole entire place is blurred out. The crazy part too is if you go down just a little bit, let's see. You go down just a little bit, and what do we see here? This looks like another Tesla Model X, and to be honest with you, this looks like it's in the same horrible condition that D4vd's Tesla was in, right? That's crazy. Did D4vd own a blue one too? That is wild. But I don't know if we can still see you can't even see his house. His house is blurred out. That's wild. Google Earth Live. That's where you're looking at it, your King. Let's see, the value went super down on the house, right? Yeah, that's crazy. I would not rent or stay there, even if it was for free. I don't know, my crazy ass probably would. I don't know. Do a little investigating myself. I don't know, I might. I mean, I wouldn't pay for it. Absolutely not, but I don't know. And always there is a green truck. Yeah, that Tesla was not working. Yashoda said, my question is, why was the body in the trunk while everyone was on tour? What sort of planning was that? Was it deliberately done to throw the framed angle into the story? You know what? I was thinking about that too, and I couldn't help but wonder, what was the point? Sorry, let me go ahead and turn my camera back on. I turned it off for a second. I couldn't help but wonder too, why was it, and I wonder if, there's any Tesla footage of that on the thumb drive, or even if that Tesla even had a thumb drive. But was there any footage from the Tesla, or do the neighbors have any footage, especially on those dates? I'm curious if the cars were actually moved to that specific location on Bluebird right before they went on tour, because that definitely was a pattern. And if it was placed or moved to that location right before the tour, was it always the same person moving the Tesla? One second, you guys. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna let my dog out, use restroom. I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and chop it up in the comments. I will be right back. All right, sorry about that, you guys. I am back. So yeah, we were just taking a look at the property at D4vd's mansion. We did see that the house is now blurred out. There's another Tesla that's here, and then let's kind of walk ourselves down the block to kind of see where. See, now this whole entire place is blocked. You can't see anything, and there's no Tesla parked here at all. They even have the sidewalk blocked. Wow. So this is the house on the right side, right? And our buddy Mark the Shark's done an amazing video where he's actually boots on the ground and he takes a walk from the actual mansion all the way down to where I think he starts off where Bluebird is, and then he walks down to the mansion, or vice versa, one or the other. But this is Vareo Drive blocked out. So if you go down here, right, just so you guys can kind of see, this is the end of the block. So we're just going to kind of virtually walk down the street. Excuse me. And I think, is it this way? Somebody help me out. Where are we going? Are we going? No. Are we going down the wrong street? Oh, is this North Doheny? I'm tripping. Where are we at now? Oh, sorry. It was a left. I think right here, you guys. This is where his house or his car was parked. So right here on Bluebird Avenue was where his Tesla was left. So you can see that if you go down here, you go down this way, and then you make this small little right over here, and then you get to, I don't know if this is it right here. You get over to his place. So this right here is David's Tesla, and as you can see here, it looks like he's got one of those old stickers, right, that says, normally it tells you like what month your registration needs to be renewed or not. But yeah, it's just crazy that, you know, his car is just parked right over here, and then just down the street there's another Tesla that's parked right here. And it's crazy because this Tesla too is in such horrible condition. Look, and this car right here is definitely a Model X, and you can tell because you can see the little lines up at the top where the doors have that little falcon door. And then on a Model X, if you take a look at the handlebars, or the door handles, you can see that the back door and the front door, they kind of come together. That's how you can tell the difference between a Model X and a Model Y. The Model Y, I think, have the door handles right over here, and then they don't have that little split at the top because the doors, right, falcon doors or whatever they're called, they go up. You guys looking at the landscape, Kalohi? You like those Dr. Seuss bush balls? Adele said those streets are narrow. Yeah, they're absolutely narrow. Rich people got some crazy landscape. Yep. Literally, you can't even remote control the car and move the car. Oh, that's true, right? I mean, especially with the technology in Tesla, you do have the ability, and I think Tesla has the ability to like summon the car. You can have it pull out from like a parking spot. But who knows? Yeah, maybe even remotely have the car park itself. Literally, you can even remote control the car and move the car. Yeah. Adele said, no way. Chloe said, weird. It's got to be related to him, right? Don't you think this blue Tesla? You know, I do remember saying, I do remember hearing SF Investigate saying that one of David's friends who also had a Tesla left the car there and it was parked for a really long time. He said something like maybe like 2 months or so. I don't remember, but if you guys can find that video where he talks about it, and this was right around the time when he came out and said that he knew who the driver was on July 29th. It was right around that time where he also, and I think this might have been on Jesse Weber's podcast, or I don't know, I can't remember. Chloe said flat tire. Right here, you're talking about this area right here. I don't know if it's a flat tire, if it's just a little mix up of the two photos just being brought together to see. You can kind of see how like the photo right over here kind of overlaps. So it's probably like when Google Maps stitched it together. But yeah, it's just really awkward and weird to see another Tesla in the area just as beat up as his is. You know, look at that. All the leaves that were there. I don't know if this is like bird poop or this is just a reflection of the bushes from here. And why is this area blurred out too? Is there anything significant? I don't know. Let me pull up a video. And Mark the Shark, I'm gonna pull your video up because you did such an amazing job with your boots on the ground. Just want to give you guys a quick and Mark, don't strike me for showing your video, okay? Let's see, which video is it? He said 3 minutes from her body. Okay, let me get. Hey buddy, what happened? This is our good friend from the Shark family, Mark the Shark, did an awesome video, boots on the ground, a video that says less than a 3-minute walk from where Celeste Rivas' body was found to David's front door. So I might have to put this on. I don't know. Mark, is this royalty-free music? So right here, this opening scene where it opens up, this is right where, I want to say this is where Bluebird Avenue's at. So this is where the car was towed from. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I know. What? Sorry, you guys. Yoshi is, he wants the attention right now. I think he wants to come say hi. Can he come say hi to you guys? Alright, you guys. This is Yoshi. This is my pup that I adopted at the beginning of the month. This is my little Shiba Inu mix. So everybody say hi to Yoshi. Fun fact, I didn't actually name my dog. I gave everybody an opportunity on Instagram to vote for the name. And this was literally the day after the Dodgers won the World Series, and everybody kind of voted on this. So we took a vote, and Yoshi was the name that won. He's named after the MVP, Yoshinobu, the pitcher. So Yoshi, you say hi. Stop licking. But yeah, this is Yoshi. All right, can we get back to work? All right. Let me just put him down real quick. Ooh, Yoshi. Okay. He's in his teething era right now. He's teething a lot. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. No biting, no biting. Here, go get your pillow. All right, sorry guys. If you guys hear him, he's tearing up one of these pillows that I gave him. But anyways, do me a favor. I'm going to just take a moment to really quick ask you guys. Do me a favor if you guys haven't already. Hit the like button. If you guys aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you guys care to donate, you guys want to help support the channel. I'm not a monetized channel, so if you guys want, I do have a Venmo. You guys can definitely donate there. If you look up Flojo, Flojoe, you should be able to find me. Not hard to find. And I had a buy me a coffee link, you know, so you can buy me and my mod some coffee, but for some reason it's not working. But if you guys want the link, I'll put it in the chat. Let me see. buymeacoffee.com/FlojoTV with the letter Q. Now, if it doesn't work, forget about it. But anyways, if you guys do have any donations you guys want to send over, show your support, show your love, all of that's going to go to dog food for my pup, you guys. Anyways, let's get back to this video that Mark the Shark, our good friend, our family, Mark the Shark, put together. Boots on the ground. Make him a part of the cast? I think he just might be. He's gonna be the general manager. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. His name is Yoshi. Do me a favor, you guys. Drop a heart in the comment. Drop a heart for Celeste. Whatever heart you want to drop a heart for her in the comments, you guys. Rest in peace to Celeste. We're all out here doing what we gotta do to get justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The shark is in the house. Hold on. When did you go? When did you do this? October 13th. So this was obviously after everything happened. This is literally right almost in front of the house. And as you guys can see there's another black Tesla there, right? So now by the looks of this car, right? This looks like it's a Model Y. Oh, this might be a Model X, which is weird because if it is the Model X, is it David's? No, it's definitely not David's because this orange tag in the top right corner indicates that this has got California license plates. So no, this is definitely not the Model X that belongs to D4vd. Damn, I just want to see, is this... you can't really tell. No, you can't tell. The Tesla belongs to the neighbor, Mark says. Darcy, Yoshi is 2. I adopted him at the shelter at the beginning of this month, November 1st. So that's his pretend birthday. Look at all those hearts in the comments, you guys. I love it. Yoshi. Didn't you have another one? What was the other walk that you had, Mark? Was it in Hollywood or was it in Lake Elsinore? You did one in Lake Elsinore, right? But yeah, again, this is the house. It's obviously it's been blurred out. You know, if you have money and you're involved in crazy stuff, you have the power to remove your home from Google. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if you're on Apple Maps, you can probably still see it. And Your King said on Google Earth Live. Google Earth Live. Hold on. Google. I know Google Earth Studios. Let's try it. Blank. Let's do this. I don't know if have you guys ever used this before? I just heard about this not too long ago. So this right here, where is the house at? This is the house that David was in. You can't really see up close. But this is just a little bird's eye view of the mansion. Let's see. If we do like an aerial view though, right? You guys can see, let me try to back out. So his house is right here, right? Hold on, this little thing in the middle, right over here. And you can see that let's kind of back out a little bit. He drove all the way up Vareo, made a left on Doheny Drive, and then made a right here. And then parked his car right here on Bluebird. Let me just catch up on the comments really quick. I'd love to see those hearts for Celeste. And a banana, welcome. Mark the Shark with all the hearts. I hope she's proud of us. I hope she feels this. We are on her side. We're definitely on her side. Rest in peace to Celeste. And you can see real close. Darcy said, all the sharks here too. Yeah, shout out to the Shark family, man. All of y'all are holding it down. Man, I love this group that Mark has put together. All the sharks in the building. Shout out to all of you guys for hanging out, you guys. I know it's late. It's midnight over here. And I want to know, if you're not from LA, you're not in California, what time is it over where you're at? Joe, if you write to Google Earth with a valid reason, they can blur your house. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, that would make sense then. You can definitely have your house blurred out. I mean, I would, if that was the case. I'm sure there's a ton of traffic going by there now, and a shit ton of people that are just stopping by, you know, probably just to record and trying to see. But so we have the Vareo house right over here, right? So this is the or is it? Oh, it's this house right here, right? And then let's see, we're just gonna put a little thing here. Let's kind of go over here. Then we'll type in 804 North Doheny. This, hold on, where is it? Where'd it go? 804 North Doheny Drive. We'll drop another one right over here. And so this is just kind of like an aerial view. It'll just kind of take us from point A to point B. Let me see. I don't know if I'm doing this right. So it'll just kind of go like this. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the house, the second house that David was renting. Your King said you've been by the house before? It's kind of calm. I've been there. I know Mark did a live too one night where he went to the second house. Mark, where were you standing, Mark? Were you standing like right here? I know that you were across the street, and then didn't you get approached by some random people? But yeah, let's see. Where is this? Just to kind of play from here, this is how far that house is. I don't really know how to use this. Anyways, that was Google Studios. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's take a look at another video that Kadisha Lynn dropped. I think she dropped 2 of them. She just dropped one 11 hours ago. So the first one that we watched was about the spring timeline. And then she dropped another one about David's Tesla. David's Tesla could be where Celeste's body was kept the whole time. So I want to watch this video with you guys and see what you guys think about it.
A lot of us have...
Oop, loud. 308? Damn. Where are you at, Anna? We should make a group and investigate ourselves. Let's do it. I'm down. Yeah, that corner and walked around a bit. Play with the controls and you can get up close. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it on live. Actually, maybe when I have a little bit of time, I'll put together just I know Google Earth Studios, you can do some crazy stuff. So we'll do like a mock drone trip between the Vareo house, Bluebird Avenue, and then all the way to the Doheny house, and then we'll watch it. Mark said, "Let's go." Only Mark can say it like that. Let's go in the shark voice. All right, you guys, let's watch this video and then see what you guys think.
Been very confused when it comes to details about how Celeste was decomposed, but yet the medical examiner could still figure out the tattoo on her finger that read "Shh." This is where we heard a lot of speculation about Celeste possibly being frozen at one point in time, but the LAPD kind of kicking that theory to the ground. And I now want to give my own speculation theory of what this could be if Celeste was...
Now again, this is just Kadisha Lynn's speculation. This is no backdoor resources that she's obtained. She's just giving her 2 cents on what she believes happened.
Not frozen. Now, yet again, this is not confirmed. This is only speculation based off things that I've read on and tried to understand. Information is also going with me editing the photo that is out there in the public for everybody to see to try to get a clear picture. And it seems like this theory is very possible based off what I've seen of the photo of Celeste in the front of that Tesla. And before we go any further, I do want to say that I am going to try to keep this video easy digestible, but for most people, this video might be a lot. So if it's something that might trigger you, please go ahead and swipe away now. Now, I'm not going to show the edited version of this photo if this is something that you guys...
Yeah, Your King, we're gonna get into that video afterwards with Matt Thibodeau. We're gonna watch that too, because he kind of talks about this January theory, and I'm telling you, and I was telling Mark and the whole Shark Squad and the whole Shark fam that I've had this January theory for a long time. So Matt, if you're watching, just give me credit. But yeah, I've had that whole January theory. That I thought, and it was crazy because everything that he mentioned in that January theory was my entire theory on how or what I believe happened, minus the cave. So if there really was a cave that was out there, I don't know, that's wild.
are interested in seeing, you guys are going to have to do this yourself, because I do want to keep respect of her photo not being out there, because this is a child. Based off things that I have seen, it does appear that her head is attached to her torso. Now, as far as other limbs, I cannot be so sure. What's going to play a big role in what I talk about today is this big black bag that Celeste was reported to be wrapped in. Celeste being placed in a bag will slow decomposition.
This case is definitely bonkers, you guys. It really is. I feel like every single day or every other day that this case just takes a wild turn here, and then 2 hours later it'll take another wild turn there. But normally early on in the week is when we get like major updates, so I'm curious what other major bombshells are going to be dropped, because the mainstream media put out these theories, or maybe just came out and kind of put out new reports, and then this past week the social media just went wild. All these creators like Kadisha Lynn, Matt Thibodeau, they came out with crazy, and then even the Sloan video, right? That is one hell of a video too, and a lot of people are saying that Sloan's got some credibility when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's crazy to see what's going to happen, what's going to unfold, but we're all here for it.
Restricting oxygen from her being in that bag and insects not being able to get inside. And another huge thing to note, the breaking down of Celeste could have been even slower due to her not being fully intact. Now, like I said, I don't think that her head, like the LAPD is saying, was not attached, but the other limbs, like the legs and arms, might not have been. If this bag was actually sealed well and it created a low oxygen environment, there's also something else that could have happened to Celeste during this time. And I do want to say, now there is multiple LAPD sources telling multiple different media outlets that they believe that Celeste passed away in the spring of 2025, and this could answer some questions about where Celeste could have been this whole entire time. And the truth is, with this theory, there is a huge possibility that Celeste could have been in the trunk pretty much the whole entire time. They wouldn't have had to hide her anywhere. Could have happened to Celeste during being in this bag is adipocere formation. And this is a greasy or waxy substance that forms over the body, but it's important to note that this process typically takes weeks or months, not days. And as you can
Now I know about this because Mark talked about this a couple days ago. Probably talked about it last week. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that she's talking about in here isn't really new, or at least might be new to some of you guys. But these are conversations that we've been talking about in Mark the Shark's Discord for a very long time. So, I mean, it's just funny to hear this information or this new speculation come out now, because we've been talking about this I don't know, for damn near 3 weeks already.
can see encasing the body in a bag creates an airtight environment, blocking oxygen and slowing regular decomp. Moisture trapped inside the bag combined with the environment provides ideal conditions for this process to take hold. It's also accelerated by warmth. It can preserve some things like facial features, wounds for a long time, which is significant in forensics, which could potentially be a reason why the medical examiner, though saying she was badly decomped at the time, he was still able to read the tattoo on her finger. Because in sense, she would have been decomposed, but certain parts might have been preserved. Now, even if this formation didn't occur, there is still ways that the medical examiner could have figured out Celeste's tattoos without her even having this occurring. There is infrared photography. This method can penetrate the skin and reveal tattoos that are invisible to the human eye. Hydrogen peroxide is a solution that has been used to temporarily remove dark decomp pigments, allowing the underlying tattoo to be photographed. A 3% hydrogen peroxide solution has been used to temporarily remove dark decomp pigments, allowing the underlying tattoos to be photographed. So photographic enhancement, special photographing techniques and lighting can also
bear with me, guys. I'm trying to look for a video that kind of shows or details this exact thing that she's talking about, where they do this kind of like reverse decomposition. I'm trying to find the video, but there's a video that I saw like many years ago of a doctor who had a decomposed body, and what he did was he placed it in this tub and he put a solution in it, and what's it called? Like, I want to say maybe like a couple hours later, that whole body reversed its decomposition, and then you could tell, you can read exactly what tattoos the person had on them. So I'm trying to find it, and if I do, I'll pull it up and show you guys.
Used to bring out details of a tattoo on somebody. Important to know, even if this process did happen from Celeste being in this bag, it would still give off a very unpleasant smell. And like I said, it would still take time for this formation to happen. It is up to weeks to months for this formation to happen. But in the early stages, it can emit a rancid, foul, or sweetish, offensive smell. And later stages are described as rancid smells associated with the fatty acids. So I know this is questions that a lot of people have been wondering, how Celeste, even from the end of July to September, even lasted in this hot Tesla trunk where the medical examiner was able to figure out her tattoo. This is where a lot of the speculations about the frozen theory came into play. But like I said, we do have the LAPD debunking that theory, because it wouldn't absolutely make sense for her to arrive to the medical examiner frozen after spending at least 5 weeks in that Tesla. So I did want to go ahead and talk about the other scientific theories which could have happened to Celeste being preserved in the trunk of this Tesla without the frozen theory going around. Like I said, this theory does tie into things that we have seen, like Celeste being kept in this black bag. And also, like I said, I was able to see underneath this in this photo that I edited, trying to get a better, clear picture of this black bag. And I do feel like this is a huge possibility of what could have happened without the frozen theory coming into play. But y'all let me know.
Shout out to Kadisha Lynn for this video, for putting the little censorship over this. I don't know if you guys have seen this photo. This is an aerial shot of ABC 7 when they were over the tow yard when the body was discovered on September 8th. This body doesn't, it really doesn't show anything. And I'm glad that when this video was talked about on Strategic Eyes earlier today, you know, he brought up the fact that he also agrees that this was a garment bag. So, Mark, we were talking about this like probably a month and a half ago, when I first started started joining your streams. Yeah, this is definitely, I think this is a garment bag, not a not the bag that he used, not the black tarp that he used to create the shirts with. But I'm just glad that, you know, other people also agree that that's what they believe it is, because that was what we were speculating it was for the longest time. And then there's also reports of how she was placed in here. So Sloan said that his reports from his sources at the ME say that she was placed in 3 bags. I want to say it was like her head and her arms, her torso, and then her legs were in separate bags. So yeah, it's just wild. And then she was placed in this hold-all bag, which may have been like the garment bag. So I don't know, just really horrible. Let's see. The next video I want to go over with you guys. Let me see, is it here? Hold on. I found it. Let me bring this in really quick. We'll just kind of recap this one. This one is not David's. This is Matt Thibodeau's January timeline. And I think we may have reviewed this already, but we'll just kind of watch this over again.
Shot of a Reddit post about the David Celeste Rivas Hernandez case that I want to share with you guys. While I don't 100% believe this is true. I do think that it's possible, and I do want to piggyback off of some of the stuff that they're talking about. So they write, I still very firmly believe.
And just FYI, this is my theory about what happened to Celeste as well, minus a few things here and there. Okay, so I'm glad that Matt put this video out. And I don't know if I think he said that he got this post from a Reddit. And just FYI, it's not my Reddit post. I'm sure a lot of people now, if you guys have been in everybody else's, all the bigger creators chats, you guys have, I don't know, you guys have probably seen some of the Reddit posts that I've put up, but good luck finding me.
That Celeste was unalived on or near January 2nd, 2025. David's posts right around January 2nd and 3rd were so sad. The songs he tagged in his IG posts were all about the death of a loved one, as we've discussed prior. On January 2nd and January 3rd, David posted pictures to both his IG and Twitter. These pictures are in a nature/beach location, and I can say with 98.5% certainty that these pictures were taken in the Santa Barbara area, more specifically the Montecito area. They say, I believe it is very likely that David could have disposed of Celeste's body initially in the San Istro Creek area, which is a remote location in the Santa Barbara area. And they believe that David marked the area with a high on a rock, which is something that he posted a photo of, which conveniently enough, if you flip the picture upside down, is Celeste's age, 1/4/14. They believe that at some point months later, David realized that he exposed this location publicly, so he ends up going back there to move her body.
So really quick, Darcy said, oh no, what Your King said, garment bag or viscera bag. So Matt, I think it was Matt that had came out, put a video out and said that she was in a, I don't know if it was, no, it was Sloan. I think it was Sloan. I want to say it was Sloan. He said that she was placed in a viscera bag, and we'll go over that in a bit. We'll talk about the viscera bag, but I think my theory is she was probably placed in a viscera bag and then placed in a garment bag. So let's just say, for example, if she really was dismembered, like the media claims she was, she may have, like, let's just say if this happened in January, right? He needed a place to store the body, and if he dismembered her, he probably put her in this viscera bag. It is a pretty thick bag that you'd normally use to transport organs in, and he probably placed her in the garment bag to conceal her body in the trunk. So I don't know.
And they believe that this is what LAPD is talking about when they're referencing a trip that David took in the middle of the night to a remote area of Santa Barbara County. Now, would it have been easier for him to just delete the photos from his IG? Probably. Would it have been easier for him to just dispose of her somewhere else in that area than
back,
put
Mark.
her in
Welcome back.
the front of his Tesla? Definitely. So I'm not fully on board with believing this 100%, but like I said, I do want to piggyback off of this because the timeline, and I think these photos are very telling. So we know that at this very moment, that the last known photo of Celeste Rivas Hernandez alive is...
Whitney said, I always thought it was a garment bag because it had that plastic view square you would use to tag clothing. Yeah, and that was one of the things that we talked about a while ago. Let me see if I have an image of it. Hold on, let me see if I bring this in. I'd have to share this. Hold on one second. Let me... Hold on, I'll pull it up right now. I just have to add it really quick. So we do have that photo. Let me just confirm that we have it really quick. There's so much stuff that we've collected on this case. The Shark family's done a crazy, insane job collecting the internet evidence on this case. Here you go. So this right here, can you guys see it? This right here is what we're talking about. So this is the garment bag, and our assumption, right, is, or we're assuming that this is what she was placed in. So if you can see here, this image, the image was made black and white and the contrast was boosted, and you can kind of see that little viewing window here, from that. So yeah, I'm assuming that she was placed in a separate bag, a clear one, and then she was placed inside this garment bag. Now if you think about it, these bags can be pretty tall, right? And Celeste was only about 5'2", 5'3". So is it possible that she could possibly fit in this? Yeah, absolutely. And make it even worse, she, if her body was dismembered, if there were multiple bags. And I do remember they were saying that the bag that she was discovered in was in a very specific type of material, right? So I don't know if they're referencing maybe it was the tarp that she was wrapped in, or if it was the garment bag here. So I don't know.
January 2nd, 2025. January 2nd, 2025 also happens to be when David posts this picture to his IG, Extra David. And as you can see, the caption is in Japanese. When you translate it, the caption means death by smoking. January 3rd, David posts this photo on that same IG account. Again, the caption is in Japanese. That translates to my site is beautiful. January 5th, we have another photo, again with a Japanese caption, which translates to not my best work, but I meditated here today. And then he takes a little bit of a posting break on this account and comes back on January 28th, 2025 with this post right here in English, saying I've been abhorrently sad as of late, which is why I haven't been inspired to post on here in a while. But I went to the beach with my friend this morning and it made me feel better. So one, why is David sad in January of 2025 around the same time period that Celeste seemingly vanishes off the face of the earth? 1.5, why is David seemingly alone in a remote area of California for what appears to be a few days on end? And 2, why is David speaking in Japanese on these photos around this specific time period? Some people believe that this is him acting as his alter ego.
Could it have been Itami, his alter ego, the person that he claims is his alter ego, or the evil version of me, so he says?
Itami, which means pain in Japanese. Remember, David said that Itami is the evil version of himself and refers to this dynamic between David and Itami as a split personality. Now, this specific photo right here of the water and the trees and stuff reminded me of something that I did over the summer. I was hiking and ended up walking into a natural cave. Now, if you guys have ever been inside of a cave, you know that they are super cold. They're actually referred to as nature's air conditioner. They maintain a
This
stable,
is the part
cool
that I don't know if I really agree with 100%. The whole cave, I don't know. I've never been to Santa Barbara. I've never hiked out there. I don't know what they have in the wilderness, so I have no idea if there are any caves out there. But I don't know. Mark said if you guys can find the location, he is willing to go out there. So you guys, Shark family, I need you guys to figure out where that spot is, because Mark is going out there.
Temperature all year round despite how hot it is outside. So I ended up Googling to see if there are any caves in California, and there are. Now, if David was aware of certain areas of California that have caves and that also lack foot traffic, could he have put Celeste's body in a cave? According to what I looked into, a body being placed in a cave where there is a stable, cool temperature that slows down the biological process of decay. If the cave is relatively dry and lacks a high percentage of moisture, that would prevent decay and could lead to the mummification of a body. And remember what this medical examiner report allegedly says, according to sources, that Celeste's body was mummified. But it also notes that she was severely decomposed and that her fingers were waterlogged. So is it possible that Celeste passed away in January of 2025? She was placed somewhere where her body began mummifying. She was then picked up for whatever reason and moved, maybe to a colder, damp environment where her body that was beginning to mummify had access to moisture again. So ultimately, when she was found in David's Tesla in the bag, she was mummified but also had waterlogged fingers because she was once in an environment that was dry, and then ultimately
Whitney said it doesn't matter which ego, it's the same body did the crime.
moved to an environment that was cold and wet. Just
Neo is there translating.
some thoughts that I'm putting together, not saying that
wild.
this is true, not saying that this is what happened, but just based on observations, you know, I'm trying to come to my own conclusions. And something that I remember from the Idaho 4 case is the judge saying you can't think of rational things when you are dealing with such irrational situations. But nonetheless, I do think that LAPD does have more evidence and more information than we the public are aware of, obviously, and I think that that is shown through the fact that they were able to present this case to an investigative grand jury. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you guys are following me. We're going to keep talking about Celeste. We're going to keep advocating for her until an arrest or arrests are made and justice is served.
So he came out with that video, and I think he came out with another one 14 hours ago. So he came out with one today. Yeah, let's see what he says about this one.
Some of what she said.
So this is David's former girlfriend and friend speaks out and shares some interesting insight info. So I think this has to do with a post that came out on Reddit that may have recently been deleted. But I might have a photo that we can share regarding this. So
says also showcases this split personality thing that David seems to have, hence his alter ego Itami. A lot of people seem to look at David's posts in the past and think that he's so immature, so childlike, but I feel like this is all an act. He's a lot smarter, he's way more deliberate than a lot of people are giving him credit for, and I feel like this persona he put on publicly was to possibly attract younger fans. She also seems to hint at the fact that David could have been talking to Celeste as early as summer of 2023 when she would have been just 12 years old.
And just FYI, this photo right here is supposedly a photo of D4vd and Celeste. And again, you know, we're assuming that this is Celeste because she is hiding her face, and in most photos that we see of her, she's doing the same thing, right?
You guys can pause to read this entire thing if you'd like.
All right, let's go ahead and read this, right? So it says, "Hi, I am one of David's ex-good friends / exes. I am the one he was texting in our iMessage conversation that leaked, and I am the one from that one comment where I say we were together when I was 16 and he was 18. I had deleted this immediately because I felt that I have too much information out, and my brain was still processing the fact that I recognized her name and seemingly face from a Spotify user, Celeste. Celeste that he used to follow. I want to be clear that our relationship never ended on bad terms. I met him when I was a minor. When he was a minor, 17, and we both realized getting into a relationship was a mistake. I also want to make it clear that this is not for clout or personal attention towards me. I am trying to be as anonymous as possible while still proving I am credible. I know that isn't possible though, which sucks. I do not want to just be known online forever as his ex, but I also don't want to have very little info that results in speculation, and I also want to help provide more information about that TikTok account. I'll give bits and details of things that were very prominent that I remember, as well as the main point of the 0907 user in his TikTok DMs. I'm sorry if this is written poorly. I don't really talk about situations in detail like this ever. Okay. David broke up with me because of maturity differences and told me it was a learning experience for the both of us. The other breakup text earlier on got leaked by Anglisi. Now, if you guys were on Mark the Shark's live today, he definitely went into detail on who Anglisi is. So if you guys don't know who he is, go to Mark's page, check out his live that he just did a few hours ago. He breaks down all of the Anglisi videos that came out. Hold on, buddy. Let's see, where were we? The other breakup text earlier on that got leaked by Anglisi, who was known to allegedly leak David's music and release a song they had together on all platforms without David's permission. Okay, that is why David didn't have the best view on him, etc. He told me that himself. I was disrespected by those texts being leaked. I never wanted my personal life out there like that, and I thought I could trust Anglisi because I used to know him in 2023 before David.
I just summarized the main points. So she says that they were together when she was 16 and David was 18. However, they met when they were both minors, when he was 17 and she was 15. She said that at some point they both realized that getting into a relationship was a mistake, but they did not end things on bad terms. She said David broke up with her because of maturity differences and told her it was a learning experience for the both of them. The other breakup text earlier on got leaked by someone who was known to leak David's music. And to just
Darcy, we did identify that area, the Mataliha Hot Springs area in Santa Barbara.
Jog anyone's memory.
So Mark, when are we going?
These are the texts that she's referring to that we discussed a few months back, where David ended things because he was on tour and she was still in school. She says, if it's true that he was dating Celeste, I'm beyond disappointed and disgusted. If she was the girl he dated late 2023, that means I was the girl before her. David once told me I was someone who got the most empathy out of him in a long time. We were super close, but a lot of it was love bombing, and as he said himself, we were quite literally feeding off of each other's attention, which I now see as I've matured. He did introduce me to Christianity, though, and teach me mindset.
Oh, my bad. He ended up reading it, so my bad. I was paying attention too much to the comments, guys. My bad. I'm sorry.
That have stuck with me to no longer get stuck in any depression I may face. He really helped be the stepping stone for me to turn my life around. David told me our relationship was a learning lesson for the both of us and mentioned maturity differences, etc. If he had fully taken that lesson and grown from that smaller mistake, this would have never happened. That is what feels so insane. People are getting the timeline of David allegedly being close with Celeste wrong, I believe. When David and I were together, he sent me a screenshot of his TikTok DMs in April of 2023. The user 0907 speculated to be Celeste wasn't on it, and she shares this screenshot of the screenshot that he sent her. She herself is in the DMs, a couple of David's friends are in there, and a girl that he took to prom, also a relative of one of his friends. And for those who don't know what she's talking about, the 0907 account is believed to have belonged to Celeste Rivas Hernandez before she switched to Ye Wahoo. In January of 2024, someone comments on one of David's videos saying, "Please adopt me, I need it," to which he responds back, "Should we?" and tags 0907. In February of 2024, someone tags 0907 on one of David's videos saying that this is his girlfriend. And let's not forget that Celeste was born on 0907, September 7th. This ex/ex friend of David's goes on to say that in June or July of 2023, she again asked David for a screenshot of his TikTok DMs because she was jealous. He sends them to her, and that is when she notices the 0907 account. He explains who everyone in the DMs are, but he does not provide an explanation as to who 0907 is. She believes this is around the time that David and Celeste started getting close, and they were communicating on his old burner account, Fetch Me Their Souls, which he ended up changing to Grade A Trey before deleting the account altogether in early 2024. She says that she refers to dating David in quotes because while they were dating, he was on tour in Europe and they had only ever talked in person one time, and that was after a show that he performed at in Dallas in June of 2023. She describes this interaction being weird because she was allowed behind the gates by a staff member, but David acted as if he didn't even know who she was. She said that the two talked and texted almost 24/7, and when she was in front of him face to face at this specific show, he asked her what her name was. She said even her father, who had brought her to this concert, was extremely confused. She was driven 2 or 3 hours to go see.
That's weird, huh? Don't you think that's weird? You have your dad drive you to a concert to meet this guy. And I know Strategic mentioned this earlier, but I just think it's really weird, you know, to have your parent drive you out to this concert. And the dad is well aware that she's taking his daughter to go meet this guy. Coming to find out, he's just going to play dumb and not know who she is.
Him at this concert, and he completely disregarded her. You know, it makes me wonder if he didn't acknowledge that he knew her publicly because he knew that she was a minor, or if he didn't acknowledge her publicly because he was talking to different girls around this time and he genuinely didn't remember that he's
Which one do you think it is, you guys? Do you think that he didn't talk to this girl and didn't acknowledge her because she was in fact a minor, or because David was off talking to a whole bunch of different girls and he just honestly didn't remember? Which one do you guys believe more? Press 1 in the chat if you guys think that he didn't talk to her because she was underage and he knew it, or because number two, what was number two? He was talking to so many girls and he just couldn't remember her. Which one do you believe it is?
Talking to this girl too. She goes on to say that the second strange interaction with David was at LAX in January of 2024, which is when we know he was communicating with Celeste. She says that it was extremely coincidental. She saw him at the airport. She sent him a text asking if he was at LAX, to which he responded yes. She then texted him and asked if she could come up and say hi to him, and he completely ignored her. She said she ended up confronting him about this at a later date over the phone, to which he apologized and said that he was listening to a band's new album and he had gotten distracted. She also recalls 2 other strange incidents with David that happened over the phone. She said that in October of 2023, she reached out to David on Snapchat because she was in a depressive state over the fact that her friend had passed away, and David responded back, "I'm a realist, so this might not align with your opinions," but basically told her that she should just be comfortable with her depression because other people have it worse than her, and she shouldn't be grieving her friend who had passed away a few months prior anymore. It's a recurring pattern here where David seems to be detached and unbothered by death in general. And given his obsession with gore and people passing away, and the fact that he doesn't seem to care when people do, I mean, he doesn't care that this girl is grieving the loss of a close friend who died tragically and suddenly. He didn't seem to care when he was told that a body was found in his Tesla. He continued performing for days. Just an observation, you guys take that how you will. Now, the second strange incident that she recalls over the phone is when she asked David about a girl that he was talking to on Discord, a girl that also happened to be in his Discord server, and he responds to her that this is a 15-year-old girl that people prey upon, and he was trying to protect her and make sure she was all right. Here's a screenshot that she shared of her asking David about this girl and him responding back who she is. Here's some other messages between her and David that she says were harmless in the moment and that she didn't think anything of back then, but looking back at them now with everything that's come out, she does acknowledge that they are kind of eerie. This one in particular, when he says that Itami, his alter ego, could cut both of her arms off.
That's a great point, Yashoda. Yashoda said it's not weird that he pretended he didn't know her. He was just being cautious because her father was around. So that's a good point. That's definitely.
I mean,
a good
how
point.
weird is
He was smart enough to know that it was wrong, right? That's wild.
that? And then, as I was saying at the beginning of this video, where David seems to do things that are well thought out with intention, despite what many people may realize, this is another example of it. He had this song right here that is unreleased called Ropes, and these are some of the lyrics that he posted on his story. And if you look at the first letter at the start of each line, it spells out this particular girl who we're talking about right now.
Darcy, this is the alleged ex-girlfriend, not Celeste, because we know in previous screenshots and text messages on Discord that Celeste was never really allowed to go to his concerts. I know that she had mentioned that her parents won't let her go, and then he says, "Don't worry, I'll fix it," and that's where the speculation came from, where was the family potentially receiving any kind of payments or whatnot, but those are all just speculations.
Name Kira. So when we think of all the things that currently don't make sense about this case, why was Celeste put in a Tesla? Why was she put in David's Tesla? Why was she left down the street from the home that he was renting, walking distance? I do believe that he possibly did think all of this out before he did it all, and I do think that we are going to see that when he starts presenting his defense, if and when he is arrested.
So that was Matt Thibodeau's take on the ex-girlfriend. Let me just catch up on these comments really quick. Whitney says, "There is no way in hell that he doesn't have some kind of trophy from her. Her hair, her clothing, something. He has to remind him of her death." I think his trophy is just going to be his music, right? I just feel like his whole entire catalog, his whole musical career could have potentially been based off of this relationship that he had with her, allegedly, right? Manic depressive or bipolar disorder. You think David was a manic depressive or bipolar? What about personality disorder or split personality? Yashoda, you're the doctor. What are your thoughts? So you really think manic depressive or bipolar? Can you tell us why? Why you believe that? Eric said her bracelet had on her bracelet he had on. Yeah, that could have been a trophy, right? He had some of her little what are those called? The candy bracelets that he would always wear. And they said that he was paying her parents. Yeah, I have the screenshot of him. I'm not saying that he paid him off, but basically saying that he would go and fix it, right? And I think that's just a rumor. Which part, Adele? Which part do you think is a rumor? Okay, Whitney. I hope your cat's okay, and I hope your cat won. Your cat better have won. Yes, he has all of her Hello Kitty bracelets. And I think earlier today somebody posted a video of them driving by the mansion, and there was just a whole bunch of like belongings outside, and there was a pink sweater that was out there on the front door, and I think it may have been that Hello Kitty sweater that we've seen David wearing. Yeah, that's wild. Oops, you guys said both 1 and 2. Okay, we're catching up. He only cried when he was singing the song Afterlife. You think he really cried though? Because I don't think he cried. I don't know. Those did not look like real tears. And I think we watched that video in its entirety last night on last night's live. So if you guys haven't seen it, you guys can go check it out, or you guys can go look them up, whatever the case is. Sasha checking in from the UK. Thank you for hanging out. Good morning to you. Gotcha. Thank you. All right. Damn, UK. What time is it over there in the UK? Whitney, your cat. Okay, good. Your cat's safe. No fights. David's sick because of the gore he watched. Yeah, no, he. I mean, you can see in the screenshots that Matt Thibodeau showed. He was talking about or he showed the screenshots where David had this really, really weird obsession with gore, and you know, I'm sure maybe some of us here in the chat, maybe a couple years back when we were younger, there was a popular series that came out, and I think it was on VHS, right? It was a show called Faces of Death, and it basically talked about all these different weird ways that people would lose their lives, whether it was like falling off a cliff, getting electrocuted, like on those electric chain tracks, or getting decapitated. So I mean, I'm sure we've accidentally stumbled upon a video or two like that in our lives, and if you haven't, you're lying, right? But yeah, David said that he used to watch cartel members, executing people, which is weird. That's such a weird fetish to have, and I can't help but wonder if like that's if he had to like bring that upon Celeste, because that's so horrible. That's so terrible. Okay, Yashoda said that was in response to a comment saying that he was on high and low periods. I personally think he's a psychopath. He's just posturing, pretending to have multiple personalities. Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's real. He's probably a sociopath too. Yeah, this guy. I don't know. This guy really thinks he's hot shit, right? What video was it? There was some screenshots that I saw earlier that he was talking about. It was a text exchange. Was it
harmless in the moment and that she didn't think anything of back then, but looking back at them.
Hold on. Okay, I think this is it right here. Hold on. Let's go back and read these text messages because I don't know if we were able to kind of really pay attention to this.
Her and make sure she was all right. Here's a screen.
Okay, so this is a text message between David and that girl. She asked, "Who's Kirsten?" Everybody's saying that they know you so well. This is entertaining ASL. By the way, if you want a Spotify, then let me know. Then he says, "Girl who been in the server since it dropped." She says, "Oh, she's 15 and gets preyed upon hella. I'm trying to protect her from this shit. But these N-words are sick."
Screenshot that she...
Really? He's trying to protect the 15-year-old from getting preyed upon? That's so crazy.
Shared of her asking David about this girl and him responding back who she is. Here's some other messages.
And then he says, "No, don't." Oh, okay. So, what? This says, "No, don't kiss. We haven't kissed yet." But if you look at this right here, it says KYS, right? KYS means kill yourself. And it says, "No, don't kiss. That's my job." But it says, "No, don't kill yourself. That's my job." Is this David responding to her? Yeah, so I'm assuming these are her screenshots. He's telling her, "No, don't kill yourself. That's my job."
Messages between her and David that she says were harmless in the moment and that she didn't think anything of back then. But looking back...
Okay, so then it says, he responded to a text where she asked him, "I asked when the stream was ending because I was slowly killing myself." And then he said, real you as a chat member is suicide, not gonna lie. Laughing my ass off. And then it says, "How the fuck is a Tommy there?" He responded with, "Imagine getting hacked by my alter ego." Imagine getting hacked by my alter ego. What? I don't know how I have that character. I would definitely win a Tommy fight off. And then he said, "No, you would not." She said, "Proof?" And then he responded with, "You not winning against me. You definitely not winning against the Tommy." Right? So he's basically telling her, "I'd kill you." Right? And then he said, "Imagine getting hacked by my alter ego." How insane is this? I feel like this text message is nothing but truth. I don't know how I have that character. I would definitely win in a Tommy fight off. No, you would not. Proof. You not winning against me. You definitely not winning against the Tommy. Like, what? Are you kidding
Get them
me?
now with everything that's come out. She does acknowledge that they are kind of eerie. This one in particular, when he says that Tommy, his alter ego, could cut both of...
Let's say it says, "I would karate chop that B. How would I not win against you? Let's be real." And then he said, "You after me and a Tommy cut both of your arms off." Bruh. Bruh, what? Hold on. This is ridiculous. This is weird. I don't know how I missed this. This is really, really weird. You not winning against me, you definitely not winning against a Tommy. I would karate chop that B. How would I not win against you? Let's be real. Then this is, I don't know, this looks like a picture of Kai Cenat, right? And then it says, "You after me and a Tommy cut both of your arms off."
Bruh.
Are you kidding me?
Of her arms off. I mean, how weird is that? And then, as I was saying at the beginning of the...
Let me go back and read your chats. Hold on. "Your king, nothing about that at all anywhere." Wow, what a creep, Kalo, he said. Your king says, "Is this a pic of him with our arms?" Let me see. Oh my God. Wow. Really, right? Protect her from himself. That is horrifying, isn't it? Absolutely 100%. That's sick. That's disgusting. That's so, like, foretelling. Darcy said your king David was taken out of school in 5th grade and homeschooled and isolated from then on. Yeah, I don't know if this happened in 2016. He even made a song about it called 2016. I think a lot of people, I don't know if it's in his lyrics or not, but he mentioned something about like how he used to sell and got away with it. But then there was also something that I saw where he said, "You won't believe what I did in 2016 and got away with." I don't know. If somebody can find that screenshot, send it to me. My email is right there. FlojoTV@gmail.com. So if you guys have anything, any good stuff, send it to me. The alter ego is a construct to provide an alibi or rationale. What's he going to do? Plead insanity? Is he going to say that he was crazy? Right? There is so much damning stuff, and I don't know if you can call it evidence, because we don't know what the law enforcement has or, what the defense has, right? But there is just so much stuff that puts these two together at the same exact time. How can there not be a relationship, right? I even saw in a screenshot, I saw in another creator's thumbnail the other day that there was a photo of the two of them kissing. Now, I don't know if that was AI generated or not. Obviously, there's no way for me to tell. It was a new photo that I've never seen before. All right, one second. Mark said he sent me some new photos, so I'm gonna check that out really quick. Okay, hold on. Let me save this really quick. Sorry, you guys. Let me just save this really quick. The Shark family is just always on top of it when it comes to material. Hold on. So I'm going to show you guys a photo of the mansion from today. Well, I don't know if it was from today or not. But earlier I had talked about a photo of the mansion. Let me just fix this really quick. Let me just change the photo. Actually, before I pull that photo up, I do want to show you guys this photo really quick. So apparently the girl that was in this text messages, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it was mentioned earlier today that this is the actual person that Matt's talking about in his video. And so this person right here, and I don't know if it's confirmed, but this is supposed to be Kira. Kira is her name. I don't know. And apparently that was a photo of when she was a minor. There's one more thing that I want to show you guys about this video. I don't know if we passed it or not. Hold on, I might have to look back and see. Where is it at? Oh, okay, it's coming up.
This video where David seems to do things that are well thought out with intention, despite what many people may realize. This is another example of it. He had...
All right, you guys, can you guys see those lyrics from here? This is an unreleased song called Ropes. It says, "Keeping my heart tethered to another, etching my blood along this rope. And everything I do, I will not let it break. Right alongside me, she opens a wound and pours her blood out on it as well." Then it says, "Knowing this rope is paper thin, effervescently tugging, pulling, longing, inch by inch, I am held closer. Rightly so, I feel heavy, very heavy, all of me being held by this rope. Nodding away at the end, my heart again, eager to conjoin with hers, but I must remember I am being held. Remember I am being pulled upwards, able to drop at any second." Now, if you guys take a look at these lyrics right here, right? If you guys take a look at the first letter of every sentence, it says Keira. And what does that spell? That spells out Kara, right? Kara. is her name. If you take a look at this little second verse right over here, the first letter of each sentence says, or it's spelled K-E-I-R-A, Kira. And then the third one, again, you see K-E-I-R-A, Kira. These are the lyrics to his song, or I don't know if it's a song or not, but these are his lyrics, and it spells Kira. All this tells me is that he is very, very calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing when he's writing his music. And I say that because I myself write music, or I used to write music. I used to rap a little bit, right? Okay, you guys. All right, now you know, right? And if you want, you guys can check out my YouTube. All my old music's on there. But I used to write music before, and so I understand what it takes to write lyrics and to sit down and think about what you're going to put down on paper. And then for him to just go the extra mile to start every bar, or what we would call a bar, right? To start every bar with a specific letter and then have it repeat for 3 verses, that's very calculated, right? That's pretty disgusting if you ask me. But that's wild. And so it makes me want to go back and take a look at some of the songs that David has and see if he does this with Celeste. But I'm going to need your guys' help with that. You guys are going to have to go back and look at some of his lyrics and see if anywhere in his songs does he break it down exactly like this for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That'll be weird.
This song right here that is unreleased called Ropes, and these are some of the lyrics that he posted on his story. And if you look at the first letter at the start of each line, it spells out this particular girl who we're talking about right now's name, Kira. So when we think of all the things that currently don't make sense about this case, why was Celeste put in a Tesla? Why was she put in David's Tesla? Why was she left down the street from the home that he was renting, walking distance? I do believe that he possibly did think all of this out before he did it all, and I do think that we are going to see that when he starts presenting his defense, if and when he is arrested.
He had another video that I wanted to take a look at. Hold on, let's go to his page. Where is it? I guess that's it. Is that it? I think that was the most recent one. Which one is this? 11/26. This is a few days before.
Progress is definitely starting to be made in this case. Progress is definitely starting to be made in this case. We are learning that a grand jury has reportedly seen and
okay, that's it. Let me go back to the comments and read some of this stuff. Yashoda said, people with dissociative personality disorder are not aware of their dilemma. One personality doesn't know what the other does. Ooh, interesting. They are taken in for counseling based on the other's observations. Let me go back because Mark sent me one thing. Oh, let me show you guys that one image that Mark sent over. Yes, Darcy, that is right. I am, well, not anymore. I haven't written any music since the pandemic, 2020. That was the last song I wrote. I used to write little wrap-ups. I used to make music and perform as well, but the last like written stuff that I have was just all like wrap-ups of like the past couple of years. And the last one that I did was 2020. So, you know, if you guys are ever bored, you guys want to listen to a pretty cool ass track, you guys can go check out my wrap-up, the 2020 wrap-up that I did. Shout out to my boy Justal who produced that track too. But let me see. Where's that photo? This one is in the mansion. Okay. Oh, God, Lord, hold on. That's a huge photo. Gotta make sure that let me see if I can just do this. No. Sorry, y'all. I gotta make this photo small enough for you guys to see. So, yeah. This was a photo that was taken outside of the mansion. I think this was right after search warrants were served to the house. The belongings that I was talking about earlier. Yeah. So these were some of the belongings that were left outside of the house, and you can see that there's a pink sweater there. Really odd. Let me hold on. I gotta save these other ones that you sent me, Mark. Hold on. Mark sent me some really good stuff, you guys, and I'll show you guys right now. Thank you, Mark. Shout out to Mark for hooking it up. But let me pull up the Discord. And you guys, Mark has a Discord for the Shark family. If you guys want to be a part of that, you guys got to be a member. Not on my page, but on his. So go to Mark the Shark's page, join, get yourself that membership. Because if you're there, we're dishing out memberships like crazy. I think me and Goal, I don't know if she's still here, but me and Goal had a little membership battle today. We were just handing out memberships left and right. Let me drop Mark's Discord here in the chat for you guys, so you guys can go to his page, join his page, become a member, and then you guys can get access to the Discord where we talk about this case 24/7. So go to his page, subscribe, like every single one of his videos out there, because he does a hell of a job covering this case too. Let me see. I want to show you guys this other one. Hold on. I just have to make another folder for this too. His alter ego, Itami. Let's see. This one, and then we'll save this one. Sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. We're putting this all together for you guys. Let's see. This one didn't save. Yes. Okay. All day, Mark. I got you, Mark. I got you. All right. So for any of you guys who haven't seen, there's a music video that D4vd put out. This is one of the songs here. Mark, thank you for sending this to me. A song called Rehab, right? And in this video, hold on 1 second. In this video, this is a song called Rehab by David. It's an anime version. And in this video, apparently a girl gets chopped up. This is crazy though, because now I'm looking at it and I'm looking at what type of device he was using. And do you think that this could be a tool that he used to try to dismember her? Oh crap. I need to watch this video because this is crazy. Yeah, shout out to Mark. Mark the Shark, he is a beast. Mark definitely goes on these crazy marathons where he goes live for 12 hours. Last one he did was 3.5 hours. The other day he did one that was 8, and I think last Sunday he did a 12-hour marathon. So right now we're just waiting for him to recover because he ate raw turkey for Thanksgiving. But he's on the road to recovery, and once he's back on his feet and he's feeling 100%, he's gonna come back and try to break his record, you guys. So go to his channel, show him some love, subscribe to his channel, because we're gonna what, Darcy, how long is he gonna do his next one? He's gonna do like a 3-day live, right? 3-day nonstop. Drop a one in the chat if you guys want to see Mark do a 3-day live stream, because he said he's not scared, and I believe him. Anyways, that's a photo of rehab. Let me show you this other photo that Mark sent me. I think this is another scene from that as well. So this is supposed to be Itami, his alter ego, right? And this is supposed to be an image of a girl with her arm cut off. So is her body being dismembered far from reality? No, absolutely not, right? I mean, this whole music video is a depiction of what he did. I want to find hold on. Okay.
Immediately
I found this video that I want us to take a look at too really quick. This is a video of the Zach Sang show, and he talks about, this is where he talks about his new album Withered.
And definitely like
we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I just want to show a few, maybe just a few, just one clip from it, but I don't know exactly where it is.
I don't know. I don't know if he started in Vans or I don't think so. I would assume you went right to the bus.
We went straight to the bus.
That's sick.
Straight to the bus. God bless. Yeah.
Truly, God bless.
Absolutely.
Because life is different in the back of a white creeper van, dude.
with the barred window.
Yeah, bro. It is not okay.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Can you explain how your daily outlook and like just the way you perceive life now changes from that experience?
I mean, it's definitely.
Okay, hold on. I don't know
I'm
exactly
owning
where
the
it
D4vd
is.
thing now. Like a lot of people are calling me that, so I'm like, it might just be the word.
Wait, I mean, we've been saying it for a long time, but mainly as a joke. And my greatest fear came true, which is I just casually said it, and I didn't really intentionally want to do that.
That's so funny.
D4vd, it just flows nicely.
Right, D4vd.
It just feels good.
D4vd. Yeah.
You really are a special human being, though. We have an entire album to discuss, and
I would show that video too, but unfortunately, the last time that I played that video, I think it's called One More Dance. We played that video on mute, and it was just a visual, and that entire video got flagged, so I had to pull it out of my live. So if you go back and look for it, it's not in my live anymore. I got copyrighted and blocked.
Are you withered, man? Like, what's up?
You know, like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
Genuinely?
Returning. Well, figuratively.
Okay, I want you guys to pay attention and listen to this part right here, because what he said, and I saw this a couple of days ago, and what he said really caught my attention, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Are you withered, man? Like, what's up?
You know, like.
Are you withered, man?
Like, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
Genuinely?
Returning. Well, figuratively, spiritually, that's like, I want to dive into this album as my entire aesthetic and my entire being is like withered. My entire being.
What does it mean to be withered?
So the entire aesthetic of this project is returning to the dust. A rose grows from the dirt and then it also decays back into the dirt. So with this project, the way I made it, the way I'm talking about the themes on this project, the way I'm talking about my emotions and my feelings, it's all returning to the dirt with this. It's like a entire life cycle.
Okay. Know? In a life cycle that connects to the other EPs, possibly Petals to Thorns, and then the Lost Petals.
Yep. It's all a through line. So basically, with Petals to Thorns, I view that as my introduction. That was
okay. Listen to this part. It's this line right here in 1 minute and 51 seconds into this video. This is the part that really like caught my eye.
Was my debut, you know, and then with the Lost Petals, it's kind of continuation of that story, and then this is like the ending of it. So people use their debut sometimes to be like, oh, this is me, and this is me and my art. But this is like the closing of a chapter, especially for like my main fans and even for the new people that's coming in. They can recontextualize my music with the previous project. So it's a good way for everybody to get into it.
By listening it all together.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go through what that life cycle means. So at what stage of the Withered is dying? So you're going into dust, but you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through those 14 records?
It's definitely like a resurrection.
How many tracks were on this record? 14? Bruh. Come on now. How many were on there? 14?
Bruh.
Come on now.
Type of thing. So, but by the end of the project, it's done. So that's why the last track is called Afterlife. That's like the final blow, you know?
How long did it take you to come
The
up with
final
this?
blow.
Because when you were on our show 2 years ago, you said you had something
Yeah.
in the works, but you ended up getting rid of those records?
Yeah, it was like an interesting thing because when I talked to you about that, it was like I had a very clear vision, but then I had lived not that much life, you know? And then I went on all these tours, and I went on tour with SZA, and I was meeting this person and this
Bro.
producer and that artist and this and I was just getting lost in the sauce, and I had to kind of take a few steps back. So the first couple projects that I made, a
Stoic,
couple
what's going on?
iterations of
Welcome.
Withered, one was like an R&B project, one was like a pop project, and nothing really felt like me. So I kind of had to bring it back with this last one and gave it one more shot.
Was it all titled Withered throughout that, or
Nah,
No.
like there was a concept and there was a story there that I wanted to continue, but there was no name and there was no like theme of the songs, and because I'm writing at this point about myself and my emotions and my vulnerability, and I wasn't doing that a lot last couple projects because I was homeschooled,
yeah, you were living a different life.
Yeah, I didn't have nothing to talk about like that, and people were asking me, how'd you write all these beautiful songs when you have no relationship? I was like, man, I'm a prophet, bro. I just spoke it into my own life, crazy.
But okay, happy 20th birthday.
Thank you.
You literally the other day.
Yeah.
Like you just turned 20. You
Just
are
turned 20.
you're technically out of teen years, but you're still like a kid.
Yeah, literally, man. I'll be going to arcades. I'll be going to second.
No, he's not a kid. He likes dating kids, allegedly.
Jeez. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, rumor has it Chuck E. is actually opening an arcade, like an arcade version of Chuck E. Cheese, like in a mall.
For real?
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's game changing, actually.
It is game changing.
Wow.
Anywho, back to you. Life is an understatement that has lived in the last 2 years because if I remember correctly, you hadn't even performed live when we first met.
That's insane to think about.
And you've been on 2 headlining tours. You opened for
Yeah,
SZA.
Stoic 14
Like,
tracks, man.
4 headlines, actually.
Holy fuck, sorry.
1, 2, 5. Holy balls.
Damn.
5.
But in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also released, which I think it's really crazy that your fans are so adamant on you having an album. You've released 40 singles.
Dude, I'm out. I'm out there. Definitely out
You're-
there. It's so funny because I be seeing the TikTok like, drop. Why don't you drop? And it's like, just go to my.
Are you kidding?
I've been dropping, bro.
There's 40
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
So, okay. How does life change? Like, how does your daily outlook change from the last time we met? Because even hitting the road and living that life,
Yeah.
and definitely like,
Adele, he was just saying that he's a prophet. He's so full of himself, so full of shit.
I don't know. I don't know if you started in vans or I don't think so. I would assume you went right to the
Nah,
bus.
we went straight
life.
to the bus.
That's sick.
Straight to the bus. God bless. Yeah.
Truly, God bless.
Absolutely.
Because life is different in the back of a white creeper van, dude.
with the barred window.
Yeah, bro. It is not okay.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Can you explain how your daily outlook and like just the way you perceive life now changes from that experience?
I mean, it's definitely very, very euphoric, and it doesn't feel real to be like, on tour and to have such an ability to travel like that, and to be able to see the fans in face to face in real time and be able to feel that emotion and that connection to them. It's just like you don't believe it, and it's so hard to process that. Like that to me is bigger than getting a viral song. Like you really have people sitting in this room that bought tickets to your show that's really screaming every word. Like that's insane.
Like think about that as like an internet kid, like
Right.
somebody who spends so much time playing video games behind a screen.
Yeah.
Like all these people that, they exist in this digital universe.
Hold on. I need to go back.
I'm Zach. That is Dan. We welcome back to the studio a human being
There's one part that he mentions, and we didn't find it, but there's one part that he
who is a
mentions, talks
prolific
about
genre-bending artist
the
whose music
Withered
has gone
album
viral many
specifically.
times, like beyond many times. You're really special.
Thank you.
And we have a lot to discuss. Everybody say hello to D4vd, D4vd.
D4vd.
David.
I love that. I love that.
How
I love that.
many ways have you heard people pronounce your name over the years?
D4vd, DV4D, D4vd.
But it is
David.
Right?
Dave.
It is David.
Like, yeah, it is David.
It's
But I'm kind of owning the D4vd thing now. Like a lot of people are calling me that. So
Sorry,
I'm
you
like,
guys, if we're going back.
I might
I
just
just
do
want to
the
see
word.
if I missed it.
I mean, we've been saying it for a long time, but mainly as a joke. And my greatest fear came true, which is I just casually said it, and I didn't really intentionally want to do that.
that's so funny.
The forward, it just flows nicely.
Right? D4vd.
It just feels good.
D4vd. Yeah.
You really are a special human being, though. We have an entire album to discuss.
No, he's not. He's a sick,
and
disgusting.
Like
Predator.
Are you withered, man? Like, what's up?
You know, like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
Genuinely?
Returning, well, figuratively, spiritually, that's like, I want to dive into this album as my entire aesthetic and my entire being is like withered, my entire being.
What does it mean to be withered?
So the entire aesthetic of this project is returning to the dust. A rose grows from the dirt and then it also decays back into the dirt. So with this project, the way I made it, the way I'm talking about the themes on this project, the way I'm talking about my emotions and my feelings, it's all returning to the dirt with this. It's like a entire life cycle. You know?
In a life cycle that connects to the other EPs, possibly Petals to Thorns, and then the Lost Petals.
Yep. It's all a through line. So basically, with Petals to Thorns, I view that as my intro. That was my debut, you know. And then with the Lost Petals, it's kind of continuation of that story, and then this is like the ending of it. So people use their debut sometimes to be like, "Oh, this is me, and this is me and my art," but this is like the closing of a chapter. Especially for like my main fans and even for the new people that's coming in, they can recontextualize my music with the previous project. So it's a good way for everybody to get into it.
By listening and all.
I saw another clip before, and I don't know if it was this this interview. Well, I think it was this interview specifically, but I don't know what part it was. But there was he was basically saying that Petals to Thorns was his imagination and what he wanted things to be and how he saw things, but Withered is his actual life. And I forget where he said that, but he was basically saying that Withered is his real life. And that was the part that caught my eye. How do people get transcripts on here? You got to pay for this or what? I've seen people get transcripts, but guess not. Where's the part? This is a bold reminder that these celebrities are not who you think they are. Stop idolizing them. Let's read some comments really quick. Yeah, Adele, he said that he's a prophet because all the songs and messages that he's putting in his songs. Mel, thank you for hanging out all the way from Australia. Adele said, there's the thing, he thinks he's a prophet. Absolutely. Look how psychopathic this interview is. Adele said, whose life cycle? Withered, more like decay. And I remember back in the Discord chats, he kept spamming decay after he took like a 3-month hiatus or something like that on social media. And apparently that was supposed to be the name of the album, and then it was randomly switched to Withered. I don't know.
Together.
Exactly.
You're coming.
By the end of the project, it's done. So that's why the last track is
up with this, because when you
that's a resurrection type of thing. So
you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through those 14 records?
It's definitely like a resurrection type.
To dust, but you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through those 14 records?
It's definitely like a.
Don't forget, Withered. The Withered album was supposed to have 14 records, right? I think 15 if you count his deluxe release or something like that. And I remember I randomly read a Reddit comment that mentioned that he wanted Celeste to be found when she was 14, and that was the reason why I don't know, that's why he put 14 tracks on Withered. And then the fact that she was discovered after, that deluxe album has like 15 tracks, if I'm not mistaken.
Withered is dying, so you're going into dust, but you're coming back again. Is that what I'm getting through those 14 records?
It's definitely like a resurrection type of thing. So, but by the end of the project, it's done. So that's why the last track is called Afterlife. That's
Absolutely,
like the final flow.
14.
How long did it take you?
That's how old Celeste was, right? 14.
Come up with this, because when you were on our show 2 years ago, you said you had something in the works, but you ended up getting rid of those records?
Yeah, it was like an interesting thing because, and I was just getting a couple iterations of Withered. One was like an R&B project, one was like a pop project, and nothing really felt
Withered throughout that, or
like there was a concept and there was a story there that I wanted to continue, but there was no name and there was no there was a concept and there was a story there that I wanted to continue, but there was no name and there was no like theme of the songs, and because I'm writing at this point about myself and my emotions and my vulnerability.
Adele, exactly. By the end of the project, it's done, right? Could he be hinting at his relationship with Celeste is done?
And I wasn't doing that a lot last, couple projects because I was homeschooled,
Yeah, you were living a different life.
Yeah, I didn't have nothing to talk about like that. And people were asking me, how'd you write all these beautiful songs when you have no relationship? I was like, man, I'm a prophet, bro. I just spoke it into my own life. Like, crazy.
But okay.
Yes, Mark.
Happy
April
20th
30th.
birthday.
Thank you.
You literally the other day. Like, a kid. By the way, Rumor Has It Chucky is actually opening
arcades. I'll be going to
technically out of teen years, but you're still like a kid.
Yeah, literally, man. I'll be going to arcades. I'll be going to Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, Rumor Has It Chucky is
Likes kids.
Life is an understatement that has lived in the last 2 years because if I remember correctly, you hadn't even performed live. Fuck,
Actually,
sorry.
1, 2, 5. Holy balls.
Damn.
5.
Which I think it's really crazy that your fans are so adamant on you having an album. You really
so funny.
Hey, because I don't know. I don't know if you started in Vans or I don't think so. I would assume you went right to the bus.
We went straight
life.
to the bus.
That's sick.
Straight to the bus. God bless. Yeah.
Truly.
And that's exactly where they went on July 29th after they parked that Tesla on Bluebird. Straight to the bus.
God bless.
Absolutely.
Because life is different in the back of a white creeper van, dude. The way you perceive life now changes from that experience.
I mean, it's definitely very, very euphoric, and it doesn't feel real. It's definitely very, very euphoric, and it doesn't feel real. It's definitely very, very euphoric,
Sorry,
and it doesn't feel real to be like, on tour and to have such an ability to travel like that, and to be able to see the fans in face to face in real time and be able to feel that emotion and that connection to them. It's just like you don't believe it, and it's so hard to process that. Like that to me is bigger than getting a viral song. Like you really have people sitting in this room that bought tickets to your show that's really screaming every word. Like that's insane.
Like think about that as like an internet kid, like
Right.
somebody who spends so much time.
Comment, bro. You're a like.
That's amazing.
So cool.
So, does it change the way you make art? Yes, obviously, it's how we got to Withered, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like in the process of getting outside my house and exploring the world and finding friends, losing friends, finding relationships, losing relationships. It's just world and finding friends, losing friends, finding relationships, losing relationships. It's just everything has kind of been shaping and leading up to this project in such a domino effect way,
Like just living life and it feeling.
This album is my life. Like Withered is my life.
There you go. This is the part that I was talking about. Right here. This comment right here. Dear Lord.
And
Yeah.
feeling.
This album is my life. Like Withered is my life. Petals of Thorns and Lost Petals are what I wanted my life to be, and then Withered is my life.
Ooh.
What the fuck? Hold on.
Feeling.
This album is my life. Like Withered is my life. Petals of Thorns and Lost Petals are what I wanted my life to be, and then Withered is my life.
Ooh.
Withered is his life. So this has been his life project, right? And he literally did all of this in front of our faces, in front of our eyes for the whole public to see. But unfortunately, people like me, my age, have no idea who this person is, right? Darcy said, D4vd, you're a serial killer, sir. Adele said he's drunk on fame. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Look how confident he is sitting here in this studio just talking about everything, right? And I feel like he's telling us to our face exactly what he did. My God. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So where do they align at all?
They do indeed, because like I said, I kind of felt like it was a prophetic thing that I was speaking about heartbreak and love and all these things I had never experienced before, but then I actually experienced them, and it's like, yo, I really said this about myself 2 years ago. It's happening.
But is it what you really expected?
It's weird because I have such a weird view and take on situations like that because I'm always looking for writing material in these.
Disgusting.
But is it what you really expected?
It's weird because I have such a weird view and take on situations like that because I'm always looking for writing material in these types of things. So instead of taking it to the chin, being like, oh my God, like I'm heartbroken. Like I go straight to my phone or band lab, go straight to the studio and write about it. I never actually like fully process situations like that because I'm always expecting it to happen, and then as soon as it happens, I'm writing about it. So
you're expecting. Let's break that down.
Yeah.
Because I understand, like, going immediately to art, like, is a means of coping.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But you saying expecting it, meaning like you get into a friendship expecting it to end in a devastating, tragic, sad way, so it can inspire art. But are you manifesting that in a certain?
I
degree?
don't know. I hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not because it feels that way. Because like I look back to not.
It can inspire art, but are you in a devastating, tragic, sad way, so it can inspire art. But are you manifesting that in a certain?
I don't know. I hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not because it feels that way. Because like I look back to old songs like "Life's a Dream" and all these songs I wrote in my closet or my sister's closet in 2022 when I'm looking at my life in the past 8 to 9 months. I'm like, whoa, like bro, these songs are soundtracking my life. So I hope I'm not involuntarily doing that. These songs are soundtracking my life. So I hope I'm not in.
Come on, if this interview isn't telling about the events that kind of led up to what happened to Celeste, and I don't know what is. Damn, that's crazy. He literally wrote songs about this. He made music videos about this. He went on podcasts and interviews and talked about this. And it's crazy that on the 1st of December at 1:35 in the morning, we do not have an arrest, right? We don't even have the LAPD coming out and publicly stating that David is a suspect. Right now, all we have is the LAPD coming out and saying that they are viewing David as a suspect. But to me, that's different, right? If they're saying they're viewing him as a suspect, that means that they're not entirely sure. They still need to look at evidence that they have. They need to put more pieces to the puzzle together and make that determination. But that's crazy. We do not have we don't have anybody labeled as a suspect. And I think as early as today, we saw, and now I'm not saying that she's involved. You guys can make your own speculations, but we saw, no, yeah, definitely Darcy. He's telling on himself all over social media, right? But we have people like Asia Collins, who's out of the country. I think earlier today she posted a pic that she was in Oslo, Norway. Who knows where Neo's at? Neo is just, and it's crazy because I don't follow none of these people. I don't follow Celeste Herrera, nor do I follow David, Asia, or Neo. I only know or know about the updates on these people just because of what I find on Reddit, and I don't go anywhere else to look for information or the scoop on the next person. I'm literally just on Reddit, right? But it's crazy that whether Asia has any involvement in the death of Celeste, you know, she is the only one out of that group that has been continuing to do her own thing, right? She posted a picture on Halloween in the trio with Celeste Herrera, and I don't know who that third girl was. I don't know, was that Vanessa? Or Sakura? I don't know. But yeah, she's the only one putting posts up. She put a post out a couple weeks ago that said, you know, when she's ready, she'll talk about it. Things aren't always as they seem. Don't believe the internet or whatever. And then everybody else, Celeste Herrera, I don't know if she's posting or not. But Neo, dead silent. David, dead silent. And I don't know, I think somebody today mentioned that even Neo's out of the country. Does anybody know if he is? Vanessa. Thank you, Mark. Mark clarified and said it was Vanessa. A demon in real life. There it is. Adele said, petals and thorns, what I wanted my life to be. Exactly, right? Same here. I never knew who he was. Yeah, I had no idea who he was. And it's funny because when I started following this case, I was talking to friends and I was telling them, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm so hooked on this case and wanting to find out more information and just find out the truth about this. And one of my buddies from Huntington Beach was just like, bro, what are you doing, bro? You're like so deep in this. And I was like, bro, like, you don't even understand. Like, you don't, like, how crazy it is. And the fact, I had to tell him, right? Like, the fact that you have 2 daughters. He has a set of twins that are 13 years old. You know, like, this is a story that you'd want to know all about because you have daughters who are very, almost the same exact age as Celeste, right? And I'm sure that at their age of 13, they're probably on social media, and they probably know who this artist is, right? And so when I told him about it, he was like, bro, I have no idea who the hell David is. And then I sent him a song, and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, why? He's like, bro, I just downloaded like his whole album like a month ago. And I was like, see, like this is why you gotta know this stuff, because you're listening to his music. You're mobbing out to his music, or I don't know if you're doing it at the gym or you're just doing it at home, but you're playing music and you're supporting somebody who potentially may have killed a girl that is the same age as your daughters. So, but yeah, anyways, long story short, he ended up going back home and asking his daughters if he knew who David was, and they knew all about it. So his daughters, his 13-year-old twins, had to put him up on game. But crazy, man, crazy. Your King said he's coping Celeste music because he said that he wanted to work with Celeste because she had amazing ideas, and he was reading her journal, and now the F has her. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that she had a journal. Excuse me. Weird view. No, David, you're a psycho killer. Yep. Your King said sick. Her journal. Yeah, I didn't know that she had a journal. I want to know more about this journal. I definitely heard that she was making songs. Or if you guys go back and you guys look at the song favorites, and it's the song that has the weird motel video, and I can't play it because it's another video that got flagged. But go back and look at it. In my opinion, just my humble opinion, right? If you look at the lyrics, you listen to the songs, you can almost see this song being sung or written from Celeste's point of view. And if you go back and watch that video, it's a weird video because it's the weird motel video in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. And then another weird part is that you see Asia walking through that video, and then you see her in a tank top and sweats or leggings. What a coincidence, right? The same outfit that apparently Celeste was found in. But really weird. Really weird. Where are we at with the comments? Darcy said he's telling on himself all over social media. Lexi said, "Wow, this is a crazy interview." Yeah, and you know what? I didn't watch this entire interview. I just seen bits and pieces. Actually, when I put this video on, I just jumped to that one spot, and that's where I heard him say, like, "Withered is my life," and then I literally turned it off after I heard that. So it's crazy to just sit down and watch this and kind of pick apart every single thing that he's saying, and then just to look at him. That look on his face, he's just so confident, right? That bravado that he's given off. I'm a man. I'm the man. I'm doing it. 20 years old, 14-year-old girl in my trunk. I'm doing it. This is my life. This is Withered. Fucking blows my mind. Your King said, do you guys think that he had something to do with Gus's death? You know what? There's not a lot of information that's out on the internet about him. And, I don't know. I heard reports that Gus is somebody that died back in 2020 during the pandemic. Gus apparently was maybe potentially an ex-boyfriend of Celeste. Not really sure. I haven't heard much on Gus. Can you expand on the journal. Yashoda looks like he did all this for inspiration to write lyrics for his songs. Lyrics come from imagination and real life experiences. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, all the lyrics that I've written before in my past, you know, they all come from some form of truth, some form of experience. I mean, when you write from experience, it makes that writing process so much easier. So, I mean, I can understand where David's coming from, and I can appreciate the creative approach that he takes when he makes his music, because the ideas that he has are ridiculous, right? But do I respect the act that he carried out, or allegedly carried out, you know, to follow his music? I can't respect that, especially if there is any truth to him being responsible for it. But yeah, definitely the lyrics are so much easier to write when you have that experience to correlate it with. Who said Neo is Norwegian? Is he? Is his real name Theodore? I just want to know if his real name's Theodore or Theo. That's what I heard. Theodore Lee. I don't know. Do not dox any of the people that we talk about on these podcasts, okay? Or on this show. Do not harass them either. Your King says the friend she was talking to, she said she had a journal, and David even said that he wanted to work with Celeste because she had a real good material on her journal. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I heard Neo was out of the country also. And another thing too, with that investigative grand jury that they have, it's really important that the LAPD and the district attorney gets all that information out to that grand jury, because it will take the grand jury to subpoena and conduct these interviews, right, to get anybody back into the country if they need them to, right? So I hope that they're doing what they need to do, because now we have Neo out of the country, we have Asia out of the country. This grand jury, unless they've already brought them in, right? If they've brought them in and they've shared all the evidence and stuff that they needed to proceed, then fine, do what you got to do. But one, Asia's out of the country, and so is Neo. So I don't know. Vanessa, Asia, and Celeste are in that photo. Yeah, that trio photo from Halloween. Mark the Shark said she's in Norway. Am I really behind on the chat? Hold on, you guys. Okay. Interesting. Yashoda said, Adele said, Yasho, I couldn't find out or his real name. I wonder what it is. Somebody tell me what it is in the comments. Adele said, I believe some of them have gone on to, with Hannah, is it Hannah Bang? Yeah, I know that Maximilian works with them, and I think Zerks. Is it? No, maybe not Maximilian, but maybe Zerks. I know Zerks is like the video editor or something like that. Did any of them ever express sadness at Celeste passing? Any of them? Absolutely not. I believe Neo or his parents are from Taiwan or Hong Kong, so Chinese descent. Your King, you heard that he died in 2022. I don't know if any of you guys follow Trapmore Ross. Very early on in this case, he did a video where he was digging and found some information about Gus. Found out that he died in 2020, and then he said that he found out that there was another Gus in the area, but he said that was not related to the case. Neo is Norwegian. The idea is that he's caused to carry them out. Your King, he's Japanese, I think, or Chinese. One of them, right? Some creator did an entire breakdown of his lyrics. Again, Trapmore Ross does a crazy, spectacular job on breaking it down. I've only seen some with David and Celeste. I haven't seen some all of them together, and that might be by design. You know what I really wonder though? David has talked about his David verse and how that he has these 4 alter egos. Is anybody curious what any of those other alter egos are, and when we might have seen them, or when we were supposed to see them? Adele said the famous lawyer he hired upped the ante, possibly, allegedly. So LAPD knew that they have a proper investigation. And you know what, Adele? I actually talked about that in my live yesterday about controlling the whole narrative. And if you guys know Blair Burke and the way that she runs her little defense, is she jumps at it right, as soon as it comes out, she jumps on top of this case before it even gets to trial. So, and the reason why I say that is because, like, look at everything that's come out, right? I think yesterday in my live I mentioned that on September 29th, that video of Celeste came out, and that was a video of her arguing with her neighbors. And then on September 30th, the ex-boyfriend came out and did that interview with TMZ, and the boyfriend was just saying like how messed up her family was and how she doesn't like her family. She hated it there. And then what else did they talk about? And then on October 1st, LA Magazine came out, and Lauren Conlin dropped an exclusive interview saying that D4vd and his camp have hired Blair Burke as their attorney. So if you think about it, and mind you, LA Magazine is owned by Mark Garagos, which is the co-host of the Two Angry Men podcast with Harvey Levin and TMZ, right? So, and Harvey Levin is supposedly vacation buddies with Blair Burke, so of course it would make sense for Blair Burke to act fast, act early, and speak with your friends, your attorney, your attorney buddies, and have them assassinate the character of this 14-year-old victim. And all that's doing is causing doubt, right? The goal is to cause doubt. Make her look like she was a bad person, that she was a little firecracker. Yeah, Del, if you didn't know, yeah, Mark Garagos owns LA Magazine. It's the magazine that Lauren Conlin reports out of. And no hate to Lauren Conlin. I actually enjoy everything that she does. But the reason why I mentioned that is because I was watching DJ Academics, and Academics called her, and where did the OD narrative come from? TMZ. It was from TMZ. TMZ started the whole OD thing. Yeah. Because I don't think anybody in their right mind could have suspected it. And I think, and I can't remember, I don't know if they, see, it's really weird because I do remember that SF Investigates was one person that said that he went back to the house and did another investigation, and he found opioids in the house, right? But I don't know if he was the first person to bring up the OD theory. I want to say it was TMZ. I mean, it has to have been, right? Their goal is to cause doubt. Wasn't Sloan the one who said something about OD? I can't remember. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Sloan is a huge creator, but I haven't followed much of his stuff, and I know that he's been on this case. I just haven't gotten around to the material that Sloan's done. But if Sloan was the one that put that out there, I know that he mentioned it in his video that he just dropped yesterday, but I don't know if that was something that he's mentioned for a long time. SF Investigates too. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, SF Investigates, shout out to SF Investigates, because I feel like if we didn't have SF Investigates, Steve Fisher, the private investigator who's working with the homeowner, I think we would have totally been left in the dark. We wouldn't have found out anything, right? So shout out to Steve Fisher. I know some people like him, some people hate him, some people think he's doing a great job, some people think he's not doing anything for hurting this case. But I mean, to be honest with you, he's doing the best that he can, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think this, I don't think we'd have any information besides what the Reddit community has kind of put out there, right? I have no respect for these lawyers. And SF, it was Harvey. Oh, another question that I want to know is who gave TMZ that tip, and why is this anonymous person so anonymous? Why is this anonymous tip such a secret that you can't divulge who it was? Right? TMZ, the people with the scoop, why not tell us who it was? Unless you can't really tell them because that source may have come from David's own camp. Allegedly. That's what I think. I think somebody close to David, maybe someone who decided to turn informant, came out and mentioned it, but I think it was somebody in David's camp that came out and gave that anonymous tip. I don't know. You guys tell me who you guys think. I want to know who you guys think. Exactly, Lexi. Lexi said TMZ was the first to mention the OD. Of course, cause doubt, right? Cause any kind of doubt. So in the event that this case does go to trial, you won't believe that David allegedly offed Celeste. Let's see. I think I read something to that effect on a Reddit thread. Oh, wait. She was not an addict. She was so vibrant and feisty. I don't buy that OD stuff. I think I read that on a Reddit thread. Harvey suggested the OD theory. TMZ was the first to mention the OD, right? Your King said, haha, I believe that they don't have no damn informant. Really? You don't think they do at all? Not a single person? I think they do. I really think they do. I mean, on September 29th, September 30th, Court TV put out a reel that basically said that people in David's camp have come forward and told, I don't know if it was TMZ, but they told someone that David was in fact having a romantic relationship with Celeste. So, I don't know. I think people are talking. People have to be talking. And if it's not somebody in David's camp, it's people at the ME, people in LAPD, right? I don't know. Adele said, Your King, do you think that she was just so fresh? Oh, God, I just hate saying that. What do you mean by just so fresh? Like, recently unalived? Or, like, I'm not even going to finish it. No, I don't feel comfortable saying that. Like, when they said the body was frozen, she was found. Harvey never said, we are sorry, we gave the wrong information. Absolutely. Why? We're never going to admit that we're wrong. In fact, we're going to come back and we are going to double down, triple down, quadruple down, sextuple down. We're going to stand by our word and we're going to say that she was frozen. Mind you, not only that, but even Lauren Conlin from LA Magazine, and I forget where it was at, but Lauren Conlin was doing an interview with TMZ, and she jumped in and she said, not that the body was frozen upon discovery, but the body could have been frozen at some point. Like, no, TMZ, that is not what you said, and that is definitely not what you meant, right? I don't know. This whole thing is just so weird. The informant is Reddit. Adele said, I'm Irish. I mean fresh as in not a drug addict. I meant as in young and healthy. Got it. Okay. Your King. Yeah, damage control, 100%. That was the whole point of my live that I did yesterday, was to talk about damage control, right? And how they've got to gain and control the narrative. Darcy said, "You're king. I hope you're joking, sweetie." Takes a lot to admit you are sorry. Says a lot about a person. So yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have... Okay, hold on. Somebody sent me something. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up this clip really quick. Adele, you said that it was in the live today? Sorry, I'm going back to my Instagram. Do me a favor, you guys. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All it does is help me with the algorithm. Just kind of puts the video out there on the YouTube space. Obviously, we're not a monetized channel, so we're doing it all for free, you guys. We're doing it because we want justice for Celeste, and we just want somebody to be held responsible. Now, if it wasn't David, fine, I'll take that, you know. But if nobody gets charged for this, I don't see how that's gonna fly. Okay, I'm gonna play a quick clip really quick from... Adele sent it to me, and this was from... Let me pull this up here. This is from Zav Girl. Shout out to Zav Girl. You said 24:29. Okay. For a screenshot of a text that he sent another girl while texting. Okay, we saw that one. And then 38.
Oh, I was saying your name's still... Oh, that was something else I was saying. That was totally different. I forget what that was.
Adele, was this the one that she did? Yeah, the one that she did 12 hours ago. All right, if I'm wrong, let me know. I think we went over the one at 24. Let me see. Is there anything else on the Reddits? Oh yeah, Mark sent me another thing about this character that David was so infatuated with, called Orochimaru from Naruto. I gotta read a little bit more about this because I do want to talk about this and the symbolism that mirrored tree head photo that SF Investigates posted. I wanna break that down. Let me see. Do we have anything else? All right, 38:39 mark. Okay, let's see.
That took like the name and what it literally meant or something. I'm not talking about that, but that was funny. I'm talking about, do you remember like last year it was doing our @ names? Seen it is what she's seen. Text. And I don't know, it seemed like they were pointing out something else about it, but here. I just thought it was interesting choice he uses.
This part right here. Yeah, this was a good yeah, this one was weird. Shout out to Zav Girl for her live earlier today, but
The anti-theft lock screen. Yeah, I checked my location on my other phone this morning. It's in China right now, getting dismembered. So
he said what?
It's a point out voice is.
This is China right now getting dismembered. So tragic.
Getting dismembered?
David, this is what's in my phone with complex. The crying emoji. That's what I use for laughing. I use that to
His
literally
phone's
cry.
getting. I just thought that was
literally
kind
any
of.
scenario.
His phone's getting. What do you say? What do you say now? Japan? I don't even know what he said. It's somewhere getting dismembered.
My phone got stolen. This is the anti-theft lock screen. Yeah, I checked my location on my other phone this morning. It's in China right now getting dismembered. So tragic. I'm David. This is what's in my phone with complex. The crying emoji. That's what I use for laughing. I use that to literally cry. I use it for literally any scenario. David's Secret Ninjas. It's the Secret Ninjas group chat. Last text I sent was to Andrew Luce, my GOAT, one of my producers. And I was like, yes, hit, y'all snapped. WTF? Crying emoji. See? Crying emoji. Again, you see it live and direct. Most used app. Let me check my screen time. Probably TikTok, man. I gotta stay up to date. I'm an internet kid at heart. So let's see what we got.
I can't stand
Justin
him.
Bieber
I can't
and Benny
stand him.
Blanco. Some models. Oh, that's makeup tutorials, I guess. Some dance videos. Hey. Real quick. Woody. Classic me. This one I use on daily when I'm disgusted or like confused by something or somebody.
Has anybody not seen the Sloan video?
And I got Mario flipping you off.
Yeah, you're king. More like Celeste's phone is in China. And Mark brought this up a while ago in one of his lives. Isn't it weird how everybody's phone is getting stolen? Right? I know a couple weeks ago, Asia's phone was stolen. She even came out and did a video about it. David's phone was stolen. And then I heard somewhere today that David's dad's phone was stolen too. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. All right, you guys. Shout out to Zav Girl for long live today. She did a 2-hour live today. Shout out to the homie Mark the Shark. And then again, I'm gonna drop his channel right there in the comments. You guys better go ahead and follow that right there. Follow him, Mark the Shark and the Shark family. Again, we do have a Discord. Mark the Shark does have a Discord, so the only way you can get in is to become a member. So don't go to my page, go to his page, subscribe to his channel, become a member, and then you'll get access to the Discord. This is where we talk about everything. So before a live comes out, before Mark does a live, or before I do a live, all of this is talked about in the Discord. And if you want to be a part of it, the only way to do it is to become a member. Not on my channel because we're not there yet. But you can help me get there by subscribing, right? Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today. I did not anticipate to come out and do a 3-hour and 46-minute live. It was really only supposed to be like an hour. But we just kind of went into the deep end, Mark. Anyways, thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I've got to wake up early tomorrow. I got work. I got to be a nurse tomorrow. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate all of you guys that came and took the time to spend it with me. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow's Monday, normally a rest day. But thank you guys. You guys have a good rest of your morning, right? And if it's morning, wherever you guys are at, have a good rest of your day. Your show said how strange to use the word dismembered for an object instead of dismantled or disassembled or just stolen, right? Anyways, that's going to be it for me tonight, you guys. I'll see you guys another day. Take care. I love you guys, and I'm out. Peace.